So Seattle Kraken 4-12-1 against the other Washington tonight, 11-2-5 here at Climate Pledge Arena, the 5th of a 6-game home stand. Almost time for puck drop. We'll be back with you at intermission tonight. I have to say, I was in the stands for Friday night's game against Colorado. The energy, even down in the third period, was fantastic from the fans, so we're looking forward to plenty of that tonight. Let's go down now to ice level and Piper Shaw.
Hey Ross, thank you. After the loss against Colorado on Friday, a lot of the Kraken said that they really needed to make sure that they were simplifying their game going forward. Multiple guys said that they've just been taking way too many risks, way too many chances, and they're doing that because they're just trying to generate something, change that momentum, get something going. But unfortunately, what those risks and that aggression is doing for them is giving up odd man rushes and turnovers and breakaways, which is the opposite, obviously, of what they're trying to do. Captain Mark Giordano says that he would like to see his team tonight play with a little bit more focus and some consistency.
I think in this game, you gotta really grind away, especially with our team, with our style of play. We got to get back to having a great forecheck, getting zone time, and grinding away. I mean, we're not gonna win many games if we play chance for chance, run and gun up and down the ice. It's just not a recipe for success for us.
You know, that's our identity, is forechecking and kind of getting there and creating offense that way. I feel like a lot of these games that we've had, almost close to 30 shots on net. But I think when we develop our forecheck early in the game and we cause some turnovers that way, we get more pucks and bodies in front of the net.
We got to find a way to get out of this. It's that simple. It's not gonna come from anywhere else. It's gonna come from the group. And obviously you can look at, we're a new group. We just started being together. Some of these teams have been together for many, many years and they've played, but we'll figure it out, and I think it'll feel that much better when we do.
Jordan Eberle there has tallied at least a point in his last 7 games, doing what he can individually to try to help lead his team through this streak of losses. Upstairs, John Forsland and JT Brown join us to talk about what else it's going to take if they want to beat the Capitals tonight.
Well, Piper, sometimes when you see the best, it brings out the best. And JT, the Kraken are about to step into, if you will, the NHL's Ring of Fire.
That they are. Their next 4 games are going to be extremely tough. You look at Washington, Carolina, Tampa, and Florida. All of them are sitting at the top of their divisions. These are games you can't just wait for these teams to have a bad game. You have to get on them early. You have to work your way out of this funk.
And leading the way tonight is one of the NHL's all-time greats that's stepping into immortality. At the top of the goal-scoring list is the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Then there's Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe. After him, the terrific, ageless Jaromir Jagr. But then, 22 goals in back of him is Alex Ovechkin. You've been on the ice against this guy. What's that like?
It's not fun. He's pretty much impossible to stop. He's going to get his chances regardless of what you do. You have to just try to limit those. He's at number 4 all-time for a reason. He has an elite shot. He's an elite player in this league. Can pretty much do it all for this team, and you have to be wary of wherever he is on the ice.
And he is leading a team that is on fire right now. The Great 8 is the captain of a bunch that have gone 6-0-1 in their last 7. They score a lot. They don't give up any. They've had 3 shutouts this season. They're coming off back-to-back shutouts, and their penalty killing is outstanding. So it's a tall order, but the Kraken have to be at their absolute best here tonight on Hockey Fights Cancer Night for the first time here in Seattle, Washington. And the players know this is a tremendous fight.
I fight for a cure.
I fight for my Aunt Noreen.
I fight for my mother-in-law, Jen Kilback.
I fight for Luke and Zach.
I fight for a cure.
I fight for my sister, Mandy Schwartz.
I fight for Danny Jones.
I fight for my dad.
I fight for everyone. Everyone who's been affected by the disease, individuals, families. I know it's touched pretty much everyone's lives. So I fight for everyone that's been affected by it.
It's a Sunday night here in the Emerald City. Beautiful look at the Space Needle. The first and only appearance by Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals on Hockey Fights Cancer Night inside Climate Pledge Arena. The goaltenders tonight, Philip Grubauer will oppose the team that he was part of in 2018 that won the Stanley Cup. Grubauer came in relief of Chris Drieger on Friday night in the loss against Colorado. I guess you could say Vitek Vanacek is a former teammate. Vanacek was taken in the expansion draft by Seattle, then traded back to Washington for a second-round pick in 2023. Yanni Gourde, Evgeny Kuznetsov on the opening faceoff. As the Kraken look to snap a 6-game skid here tonight against a team that has gone 6-0-1 in their last 7. Washington coming off a 4-0 win in San Jose last night. John Carlson lays it along. In back of the goal, Martin Feravari taken off it. Yanni Gourde goes to work. Jeremy Lauzon, his shot blocked in front. Went off Feravari out of the corner. Kuznetsov having an outstanding start. Jaden Schwartz now looks to cycle down low. Broken up. Kuznetsov back out to center for Tom Wilson. All the way across for Alex Ovechkin, who had 2 goals and an assist last night. He gets it back from Dmitry Orlov. His shot blocked by Kelly Yarncroke. And now a reset here for the Kraken. Out to center. Yarncroke detected by Dmitry Orlov. The starting lines are brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. And Orlov now will chip it all the way back in. Alexiak will get to it. Played along the wall, held in, nicked out off a skate out in front off Carl Hagelin. Captured by Seattle's Alex Wenberg. Marcus Johansson, a former Capital, broken up just inside the line by Orlov. And Nick Jensen played over 20 minutes last night at the Shark Tank. To the outside, Brett Leeson, just recalled from Hershey of the American Hockey League. Washington's been beset by injuries, still without TJ Oshie, who came back in. This was supposed to be a homecoming for him tonight, as he grew up in the Seattle area, then went off to Minnesota, but he is a late scratch along with Connor Sherry, who scored 2 goals for the Caps in San Jose. Jared McCann out of the corner. Sandwiched a bit there on the forecheck. Connor McMichael, the rookie, a first-round pick. Brandon Tanev scored his 7th goal of the season Friday night in the loss, 7-3 here against Colorado. McCann for Tanev, all the way across off a stick. Trevor Van Riemsdyk has control, and it comes out to center. A heavy hit on the way out. Susi back on it. No changes in terms of the defense or the forwards tonight, JT, for Dave Haxtell.
So far, it's been a really good start, and the thing I like most is how quickly they're getting out of the defensive zone. They're not spending a lot of time in there.
Colin Blackwell was the second star Friday night in that loss. Vanacek now will melt it down, get a face-off. Early stages of this first period. Time now for a taste of our Taco Bell take. A red-hot player for the Kraken. They are riding the stick here of Jordan Eberle.
Yeah, when things are going good, they're going good for him. 7 goals, 3 assists in the last, and on his streak, he's got 10 points. He's somebody that Seattle needs to continue to keep riding that hot stick.
Morgan Geekie centers this 4th line, flanked by Colin Blackwell and Ryan Donato. Geekie now sends it back. A reset for the captain, Mark Giordano, D-to-D with Jamie Oleksiak through the center zone. Geekie. Checked on the play by Alexei Protas. Now it's brought in by Donato. His shot schemes off Vanacek. Now Alexiak drops it off to the corner. Donato takes over. He stumbles, gets back up, sets up Morgan Geekie. Low to high they go. Here's Giordano on the wall. Geekie. He'll center across. Backdoor play. Shut down by Vanacek. The net off the pegs, and we get a stoppage.
2 really good looks for Seattle in the one shift right away. You're going to see Donato on this one break in. He has an idea. He might want to pass. As soon as it's taken away, he elects to shoot instead of making the pass. Geekie throws a nice sauce over to Alexiak, who tries to get over to the backhand, but Vanacek's left leg is able to kick that one out.
Vanacek has 4 victories. Tonight is his 12th appearance. Seattle really needs a quality first period, JT, for a change.
Yeah, especially against a Washington team that just played last night in San Jose. It wasn't a quick flight up here to Seattle. They got in late. You got to be able to jump on teams like that early.
Sometimes you get a scheduling advantage. You have to take advantage of it. This is game number 5 of 6 straight at home. Seattle has lost all 4 games on this homestand, and now Orlov off the boards to the point. Held in by the combination of Larson and Yarncroke, and now Tom Wilson sails it out on the off wing for Alex Ovechkin. 4th all-time leading goal scorer to the corner, Kuznetsov. Broken up by Yanni Gourde. He sets up Jeremy Lauzon, who's back with his usual partner, Larson, and a goal on a turnover. It's Tom Wilson. As the Kraken cough it up. 16:26 left in the opening period. 1-0 Washington.
And those are the things you have to worry about. You had such a good start if you're Seattle, but it's just a play right here. You have the puck, a turnover into the front. Kuznetsov finds Wilson going to the front of the net and is able to beat Grubauer with nobody in front of him, right in a high danger shot. That's a tough reactionary save for Grubauer to make.
It'll be the 6th goal of the season for Tom Wilson, his 15th scoring point, as he whistles it stick side of Grubauer. This is his 19th game of the year. His team is 11-2-5. They are 3rd overall. Washington is 6-1-2 on the road. They will go home and take on Montreal Wednesday night. Carolina closes the homestand against Carolina on the same night. Brett Leeson had it poked off his stick. Schultz with a shot. Justin Schultz, side of the goal. It goes off Grubauer. A little hope play that time by Nick Dowd. Grubauer freezes it, a face-off in his end.
It's another chance for Washington where Seattle has the puck on their stick in the defensive zone. Got to start taking care of it. Make sure if you don't have a play, at least get it into a corner, into a safe area.
Evgeny Kuznetsov gets the assist, the only assist on the goal by Tom Wilson. Alex Wenberg and Connor McMichael. McMichael won 8 draws last night against the Sharks. 8 out of 11 for the rookie. He's given the boot here. Wenberg now crossing sticks with Axel Janssen Vialbi. He comes down to center ice. Dennis Cholowski, the former Seattle Kraken, acquired off the waiver wire by Washington earlier this season, is dressed tonight for Peter Laviolette and the Caps, and now Giordano for Alexiak. He'll take it back out of the corner, hounded a bit on the forecheck. Alexiak, a handoff for Eberle, riding that 7-game streak. Giordano for the front, Johansson, there he is, defended by Cholowski out of the corner. Dennis Cholowski tries to dig it out. This is his first game of the season. Wenberg in that corner. Johansson takes over. He'll rim it all the way back. Here's Alexiak at the point, wristing it off a body, captured by Johansson in the high slot, turned out by Vanacek. Now Eberle to the point. One-timer, Giordano wide. Knocked down by Schultz. He's under duress. Good play by Wenberg. Eberle's shot glances off Cholowski, and now Giordano, a quick hitter off a body. Loose, and the Caps get to it. Vialbi out to center. Janssen Vialbi goes off on a change. The rookie clears it in. Icing is called here against Washington. No changes for them.
Even though the score right now is 1-0 for Washington, you have to still like the start for Seattle. They already have 4 shots on goal. They've attempted even more. It's just that mindset of getting pucks to the net. There's been times on this skid right now where they're not getting those shots in the first period. This is a good sign.
Yeah, the Kraken appear to be shooting the puck at will here. 5 shots in the game so far, 4 taken by Seattle. Tom Wilson scores again for a Kraken opponent. And it's tough to come from behind in the NHL all the time. Trevor Van Riemsdyk, who's been very solid in the early going for Washington, off the draw. Cholowski, Justin Schultz. It goes by Van Riemsdyk. It travels all the way back down. Icing once again.
Yeah, this is a play where Van Riemsdyk is taking this shift at forward with the late scratches to Sheary. That's a play that he's not used to making on the wall there as a defenseman, being on the right side. it's not fun always taking pucks and when they're rimmed around when you're the forwards.
Peter Laviolette out of Franklin, Massachusetts, has won more games as a head coach in the NHL than any U.S.-born coach. He is dressing 7 defensemen tonight. Eberle now. Wenberg out of the corner, hounded a bit by McMichael. Going down was Eberle. Schultz will take over for the Caps. Aerial flip, not out. Good keep by Vince Dunn. He'll clear it deep out of the corner. Johansson shadowed a bit to the outside. Wenberg, Eberle, a dish for Dunn, a miss hit. Blocked in front, loose out in front, cleaned up by Justin Schultz. He'll dump it all the way back. It'll make it. Icing is called here.
Once. Give a really good keep from Dunn. Just is able to get it into an area where Seattle can go back and get on the forecheck. Johansson over to Wenberg. Eberle makes a nice dish. It's a fan shot, but it's an attempt to the net. And when the puck goes to the net, things can happen. It can go off of skates. You never really know.
Schultz now off the draw. 3 straight icings against Washington. Yanni Gourde goes to work in the off wing, drops it back for Schultz. Schwartz, rather, his shot stopped by Vanacek, held in by Giordano. Played along, Gourde on this line with Jaden Schwartz and Kelly Arngrove in back of the goal. Jaloski tries to clear. Good pinch by Oleksiak. He'll get to it. Hounded a bit by Sprong. And then McMichael out of the corner. Jamie Oleksiak up from the D. Kelly Arngrove looking for his first scoring point of the season. Oleksiak now tried to advance it. Nothing doing there. Yarncroke diligent on the wall. A good job. Schwartz goes across for Giordano. To the outside for Yanni Gourde, 2-time Stanley Cup winner. He'll wind it up deep for Yarncroke. Chalosky has him minded, and now Schwartz out of the corner. He'll cycle high. Jaden Schwartz holding onto it. A handoff for Jamie Oleksiak. He'll think about it. Floated by McMichael. Let go by Yarncroke. On and off the stick of Gourde, and now Garnet Hathaway, who had 9 hits last night in San Jose. It's broken up by Daniel Sprong. He'll lug it out for Washington. Play it off the boards, and the Caps can change finally. Oleksiak. Brandon Tanev scored 7 goals in his entire season last year with Pittsburgh. Has 7 now. Donskoy out to center. Picked off by Kuznetsov and right back in. Giordano this way for Jamie Oleksiak. 12:53 left in the opening period. John and JT with you as always. 1-0 in favor of Washington. First of 2 meetings. The Kraken will be in D.C. on March the 5th. Now, little wedge in by McCann for a change. Loose along the boards. The Caps get after it. Larson to an open corner. Getting there first. Little shift by Wenberg. He'll send it back for Lauzon. His shot swallowed up by Vanacek. 12:28 left to go in the opening period. A turnover and a cash in by the Capitals. It's Tom Wilson on the score sheet. They lead it early. 1-0. Well, this is a absolutely spectacular building, made more beautiful by this. A show of lights, a show of energy on Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Another sellout crowd, 17,000 plus. It touches everyone, JT.
That's probably a good reason why also Seattle's had a good start. There's a reason for this game. These are the games you like to get up for.
12:28 left in the opening period. Tom Wilson from Evgeny Kuznetsov. And the Caps break the ice early in this one. Jared McCann centering Tanev and Donskoy. Jonas Donskoy still looking for his first goal. Face-off win by Nick Dowd, who returned from injury last night in San Jose. Carl Hagelin clears it in. Vince Dunn on his horse, flushed out by Brett Leeson. He'll get to it. Justin Schultz with a spinner, blocker down with a purpose by Grubauer. Leeson off a body, off Grubauer, still available, forked wide. Off Susie that time by Nick Dowd. Walking the line is Schultz, and now Orlov. He'll dangle, wrist shot, fought off by Grubauer a couple of times. Hagelin on the doorstep, and now Tanev takes over, and Seattle will survive that sequence. It comes out to center Donskoy. He'll flip it ahead, settled down by Justin Schultz in retreat mode. Right on the money for Dmitry Orlov, and now Carl Hagelin. Outstanding skater still at his age. A veteran player. It's cleared in. Dowd. Checked by Lauzon. Wenberg for Eberle, and out come the Kraken. Jordan Eberle through the middle. Hits the line with Johansson. His shot off a stick high. Off the glass. Tom Wilson, the goal scorer. Picked off by Eberle out in front of Schultz. And the doorstep bang in by Johansson. Wouldn't go. Out of the corner. Schultz again. Trevor Van Riemsdyk moves the puck. Captured by Eberle. The Kraken's Jordan Eberle tied up by Van Riemsdyk again, and Washington's back out. Kuznetsov moves it by Adam Larson. A good look there. Played along the boards now. Eberle in control. Floats it off the stick of Alex Wenberg. He's hunted down by John Carlson. A reset by Wilson. Moved along. Ferravari for Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin out of the corner. To the far side. Awaiting is Kuznetsov. Picked off by Gord. Seattle back out. You're looking at Kelly Arncroke. Miscommunicating with Giordano. And now retracking back is Ovechkin. Ferravari. Martin Ferravari away from Jaden Schwartz. Just about halfway through the opening period. Shots are 7-5 Seattle. Where it counts, the Capitals by 1. Oleksiak off a stick. Protas goes to work. Alexei Protas. 6'6" now Ferravari. Moves it in for young Protas by him, and now Dunn. Plays it off a stick. Held in at the point. Moving out is Sprong. His shot shielded by Grubauer. Left and back of the goal. A puck battle here. Protas is there. Wedged along, and Gord sets up Schwartz. And Seattle tries to break it out. Yarncroke cushions the puck ahead for Schwartz. Gord for the front. There he is. They score! No, it stays out. Vanacek reaches back and snares it. And keeps it 1-0. 9:59 left to go in the opening period. Schwartz and Gord, a beautiful connection. And Vanacek will reach back and snare it. And prevent it from crossing that goal line. 1-0 Washington. Well, Jaden Schwartz and Yanni Gord work a little magic here, JT, and they almost get it. I thought they did.
That was just a simple play. You talk about simplifying the game. It's just a chip off the glass. Schwartz and Yanni get a short ice 2-on-1. A great pass. It goes off the leg, back up in the air. Thought it was going in, but Vanacek was able to grab that puck out of the air.
Face-off controlled by Seattle. Oleksiak, a screen shot stopped again by Vanacek. He'll smother it through a scramble out in front.
Seattle continues to just get pucks and bodies to the net right off the face-off. Thing I like is Geekie. He wins the draw, but he goes right to the front of the net, and he's the one who's going to try to get a chance in on Vanacek. Yes, he doesn't get it. Vanacek makes a save, but it's that mentality. He wins the faceoff, doesn't wait around, gets right to the front of the net.
He'll stay out there, posed by Connor McMichael. Clean win by Geekie. Oleksiak walks the line. Popping out is Geekie, hounded by McMichael. Look out. Open ice for Connor McMichael. His shot kicked out by Grubauer. Left along the boards now. Giordano picked off McMichael right through the goal crease. And now Blackwell with a headman pass finding Ryan Donato. He'll dump it in. Schultz is back for Washington in control. Played along now for Fialbi. Out to center. McMichael, an aerial pass intended for Van Riemsdyk, being utilized as a forward. Out of the corner, Colin Blackwell. Scored his first goal as a Kraken here Friday night. Geekie from the red line takes a hit, dumps it in. John Carlson starts the breakout for the Capitals. Outstanding scoring defenseman out to center. Tom Wilson threads it all the way around. Ovechkin gives chase. Kuznetsov. Ovechkin out in front off Schwartz. He gets it back. Alex Ovechkin pestered by Larson. Ferravari mishandles at the point. A reset for Washington. Carlson off the boards for Wilson. As the Caps reorganize, Wilson this way for Martin Ferravari. Ferravari over the line from well out, shielded a bit by Grubauer. Puck was off net, now Jaden Schwartz. Lead pass for Kelly Arncroke. He'll go wide at the line, met there by Carlson. He'll pull up. Lay it deep for Yanni Gord. Gord in back of the goal. Picked up by Kuznetsov. Gord will cradle it. Schwartz off a body off Feravari, and now Ovechkin. Lays it along for Carlson, not out. Now he does get it out, and he goes off on a line change with 8:15 left in the opening period. 1-0 Washington. John Forsland, JT Brown here at Climate Pledge Arena. A wedge out by Schwartz. It'll come all the way down to Vanacek. Heading to it first, Dmitry Orlov to the outside of Wenberg, and now Dowd moves it along for Nick Jensen. Indirect pass chipped out by Hagelin for Orlov. Orlov over the line, draws two defenders. One of those is Dunn. Soucy reads it. Dowd in the corner, shouldered by Dunn. Left there, Eberle in a puck battle. He survives it. Plays it to an open space. Carson Soucy rims it to the other side. Wedged out. Good play by Wenberg. Some open ice for Eberle on a crisscross. Out in front, just by Marcus Johansson. Now Wenberg out of the corner, skate to stick. Johansson, he'll send it in for Alex Wenberg. He'll send it back to Giordano at the point. Moved across for Alexiak off a stick, off a defensive stick, and a broken one for Carl Hagelin. Now Eberle for Johansson, canceled by Nick Jensen. He'll kick it to his stick nicely. The Caps can't get it out. Giordano, Eberle holding through the slot off sticks. Giordano one more time, kicked out by Vanacek. Now Alexiak reestablishes for Seattle. Run into by Justin Schultz. Leeson attempting to dig it out. 49 in the white. Wenberg is there for the Kraken, tied up by Nick Dowd. Dowd has control. Orlov under pressure, forechecking pressure from Tanev, and then Donskoy. Orlov along the boards. Donskoy gets to it. Little fork by Giordano, wide open. Oleksiak, he'll advance right in off a stick. Available, shut down by Vanacek. Oleksiak on the follow-up with an excellent opportunity.
It's a really good opportunity, but what's kind of missed in that whole play is Wenberg's wall play. If he doesn't win that battle, Seattle's not allowed to change in the offensive zone. They get fresh players out. One of those is standing in the front. In Tanev, you get a chance right here, a secondary opportunity for Alexiak. But what a play by Wenberg, a solo individual effort on the wall to allow two more players. His offensive linemen were able to change.
Justin Schultz moves it along. Garnet Hathaway held in by Jared McCann. A handle for Vanacek. He'll move it. Donskoy to the corner. Tanev. Low to high play doesn't work off the stick of Carl Hagelin. Carson Soucy with a tight turn. Just inside his own line. Protas sends it back. Vanacek now looks around. Dennis Cholowski, former Detroit Red Wing, lays it off the boards and out. Hagelin away from Larson. Here's Hathaway in the zone, but he's offside. We get a stoppage. Just under 6 left to go in the opening period here in Seattle, where the Caps have an early 1-0 lead. Kraken Hockey is brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino, the biggest and best in the Northwest, and by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 44 years. Great Seattle wheel on a Sunday night. John Forsland and JT Brown back with you inside Climate Pledge. 10 shots for Seattle. Your thoughts, sir?
It's good. Very good start. They're not waiting until the second or even the third period to start shooting the puck.
High volume.
The more shots you get, the better chance you have to score. That's what the numbers say.
They're working on those small battles, right? That's the only way to come back from the adversity that's hit this team. To be fair, they've played better than the score on some nights, but to a man, they admitted that Friday night was NG, just no good here against Colorado, and that's got to change.
Yeah, and this is a good game for a bounce-back game. They've started off strong. Those games, no one wants to be a part of them. You don't like to watch them. You don't like to play in them. But now's the time, the opportunity for them to do something about it. They get to forget about it, and now it's to learn and just play in this game, in this moment.
Tom Wilson's goal from Evgeny Kuznetsov at 3:14, the only scoring. Off the draw, Kuznetsov on cue, draws it away from Yanni Gord. moving in on a set play. The pass never got through. Good job by Jeremy Lauzon. Moving down, hinging in was John Carlson. A penalty upcoming against Washington, out to center on a delayed whistle. Grubauer for the bench, a heavy hit. Wilson on Gord. And Washington touches up. And JT, the tempers flare here.
Nothing wrong with that. Little conversation. Didn't like the hit on Gord. That's what Wilson's going to do. He's one of those players that if he's on your team, you love him. If you don't, it's the exact opposite.
Trevor Hansen working this game tonight with Justin St. Pierre.
Washington 92, minor penalty, holding.
Get to take another look at the penalty call. Yanni Gord's just defending off. You see the left hand of Kuznetsov just grab Yanni's arm. That open hand's going to be an easy call for the officials. Here's the hit right there on Yanni Gord. Crunches him up a little bit. Nothing wrong with the hit, but again, it's that sticking together.
Muckleshoot Casino power play. The Kraken have scored in 3 straight games with it. They are 5 for 14 in the last 5. They've been struggling with their power play all season. Now Giordano coming back. He'll move it around for Jordan Eberle. Giordano anchoring the power play with Eberle. Marcus Johansson, who has the puck now. Jonas Donskoy and Alex Wenberg. Johansson goes deep. Jensen in first for Washington, supported by Van Riemsdyk. Carl Hagelin has an easy chance to clear it all the way down to Philip Grubauer. $1:24 left on the Seattle manpower advantage. Late stages of period 1. Eberle now. 7 goals, 3 assists in his last 7. Moved along for Wenberg. To the slot, bumpered out by Donskoy. Giordano. Far side, Johansson. Mark Giordano looks it over. A wrist shot, tipped right on, and Vanacek says no.
Weird little shot from up top from Giordano. It goes off of a body. Vanacek has to be in the right spot for a shot like this. It's not exactly where it's attempting to go. It's going wide right there, off a skate, then off of, I believe, Hathaway as well, right into the chest of Vanacek.
63 seconds left in the power play. Face-off win, Nick Dowd, excellent penalty killer. The Capitals have been outstanding in the last 5, killing off 10 straight. Geekie moves it along, hounded by Hagelin now. Vince Dunn, Morgan Geekie. He'll stretch it out. Vince Dunn, center point, moved along, shot by McCann, whistles off the glass. Geekie moved along by Donato for Vince Dunn with a head fake, and now Geekie to the side of the goal. Schwartz off a body, a chance, they score! Jared McCann with some backhand magic. It's a power play goal, and Seattle has tied it.
It's a timely power play goal from Seattle. They moved the puck extremely well. You see Geekie go down to Schwartz on the low play. A no-look pass across right onto McCann. And it goes off of, I believe, Dowd's stick right in front. McCann's going to get credit for this goal off of Dowd and over the shoulder of Vanacek.
Or maybe Donato. We'll have to see, JT.
Get a closer look here. Can't tell really from that angle, but either way, it's 1-1. The game is now tied.
Donato was first to the bench, which usually in the celebratory mode means he may have scored. The Kraken really don't care, and neither do the fans. They continue good success with their power play of late. Most importantly, they have tied this game and have had a good first period. Now it's cleared in to the corner. Kuznetsov. Ovechkin with a shot. Good defensive stick by Brandon Tanev, and it goes out of play.
And that's Ovechkin just showing his offensive mind. He's in front of the net, and it's just a quick play to jump out into an area where no one was standing there. Tanev is able to recover and get a stick on the puck to send it out of play, but it's just that little motion to get out from the front into an open area.
Jared McCann has been officially credited with that goal. We'll see if it changes or not. Now Ovechkin out in front, cleaned up by Adam Larson, the veteran defenseman in control. Back out. They gain the red line and dump it in. Yanni Gord is in first. Orlov for Washington turns it over to Yarn. Kraken now Lausanne with a shot through a maze out in front, available. Forked wide with Gord, the pest, in front of Vanacek, and now Tom Wilson with a self pass. The ice taken away by Jeremy Lausanne, and he'll go for interference.
Lausanne pleading his case. It's not going to do a whole lot. Once it's called, they're usually not going to take it away.
Seattle 55, minor for interference.
The problem is he's not allowing Wilson to the space, to the ice after the puck is chipped past. Wilson's just trying to get around. You see it right there, holding him up, not allowing him to get to the puck, get to the open space. That's one that they're going to call. Wilson does a good job of just getting pucks behind and trying to get past, but again, you got to allow them to go. You can give them a little shove, but that was just a little bit too far.
See the numbers on the special teams. Washington 19th. They are 2 for 9 in the last 5. Seattle has killed off 6 out of 9 in the same time period. Carson Soucy right up the gut, kills time early. 17 minutes gone, period 1, tied at 1. Washington gets the usual suspects out in terms of this A group on the power play. Kuznetsov will quarterback his way through center. Gain the zone to the outside of Soucy. He throws on the brakes. Carlson, Ovechkin off a stick, off a body. Off Protas out in front. Carlson elects for Kuznetsov. And now Alex Ovechkin in his office. Lays it along for Kuznetsov. Trading places with John Carlson. He takes it in for a shot. Canceled by Soucy. Wenberg got to it. Not out. Held in by Carlson. He'll think about it. John Carlson defers to the outside. Quick shot. Grubauer said no. Off the stick of Tom Wilson. And the Kraken get it out.
And that's the problem with Ovi being in his office. It takes so much of the attention towards him. You can find other players in the middle like they did with Wilson.
Halfway through the Kraken kill. McMichael with a spin. Sprong out of the corner, marked by Giordano. Now Tanev given a shove by Orlov. Out of that battle, Oleksiak turns it over. Ovechkin shot kicked out by Grubauer. He took care of the rebound, and now Giordano gets to it. He'll dump it out.
Couple of good looks, but again, Seattle's done a good job so far of getting the puck all the way down once it hits their stick.
35 seconds left in this power play. Schultz, a tough pass to handle for Sprong. Oleksiak is opposite number. McMichael is right there, and now Seattle has it. You're looking at Jonas Donskoy for Yanni Gord. He gets it back. Donskoy, Gord, shoveled high, right over Vanacek. 15 seconds left on the kill for Seattle. Ovechkin is marked by 2, one of those Donskoy, and it kicks to the outside. Nick Dowd on a change, hounded by Yanni Gord. Van Riemsdyk at the point. Now Cholowski. Cross ice, Dowd, pestered by Gord, who picks his pocket. And Lausanne is out of the box. And the Kraken have killed it off as they ice the puck.
Really good shorthanded chance for Seattle. Heads up play of not icing the puck as soon as you see. Pick up your head and you see Ovechkin skating backwards. As a forward, you want to attack them. Puts it into the middle to Yanni Gord, and they send it back to the outside, and they get a good 2-on-1 look.
EQC scoring summary. It is McCann is 7th on the power play from Jaden Schwartz and Morgan Geekie tying this game. 59 and a fraction left in this first period. Dowd and Gord on the draw. Dowd is given the boot. Brett Leeson will come in. Seattle in possession. Giordano. Cholowski takes it back. Little D-to-D passing with Trevor Van Riemsdyk. 45 seconds left in the period. Van Riemsdyk clears it in. Hagelin, a quick hitter off the stick of Grubauer. 38 seconds left in the period. Fumbled at the point by Cholowski. He'll draw it away from Eberle. Van Riemsdyk for Leeson at the red line. He'll dump it in. Goes by Grubauer. Hagelin for Washington. Moved along by Nick Dowd. 23 seconds left in the period. Little dart by Wenberg, and now stick handled out by Jaden Schwartz. At the line with Jordan Eberle. He sends it in. He'll go to work on Carlson. Eberle gets there now. Verapari is all over him. Schwartz, his pass detected. Washington springs out. Bialby, a drop pass for Carlson. A winder off the pad of Grubauer. And that'll do it here in period 1. Shots 14 Seattle, 10 Washington where it counts. We're deadlocked at 1. Kraken intermission presented by Jack in the Box is coming your way next here on Hockey Fights Cancer Night in Seattle. Tom Wilson starts the scoring for the Caps right there. But it's a power play late and an answer off the backhand of Jared McCann. Washington 1, Seattle 1 after 1.
Kraken Intermission is presented to you by Jack in the Box.
Well, Seattle Kraken taking the game to one of the informed teams in the NHL right now. The Washington Capitals pegged back by Seattle 1-1 after the first 20 minutes here at Climate Pledge Arena. Welcome back inside. Ross Fletcher and Alison Lucan. Well, fun first period, Alison. We saw the forecheck from Seattle. We saw sustained offensive zone time and possession. But with the help of the Emerald Queen Casino Tracer, we saw a turnover for Washington's first goal.
Aside from that first goal against, this was the period you wanted to see from the Kraken. Let's look at what happens here. Unfortunately, Jeremy Lauzon gets caught below the goal line. He's looking to clear the puck. But what he's not looking for is that Kuznetsov is right there. A big player, uses his body to control the puck, sets up the goal against. Here's another angle at this. We can see how Kuznetsov blocks out Lauzon basically with his body. There's no way Lauzon can return and respond. And that pass from below the goal line, we've talked about this. The importance there is that this is going to take away the goaltender's eyes. Grubauer cannot get a good, clean look to set up in terms of understanding where that shot is going to come from. He gets beat high stick side for the opening goal of period.
Tom Wilson, his 6th goal of this NHL campaign, but Seattle, they kept pressing. They didn't get their heads down. We talked pre-game about needing a really good start, and also when you go a goal down, a really good response. And you picked out particularly that first shift after the Capitals' goal from the Kraken.
There's going to be mistakes in the game by both teams, and to see the Kraken lock in and say, we're going to play the way that we know we need to play, and as we said, step by step, get results. To your point, Ross, they set up and got chance after chance, look after look. This is what you want to see if you are a part of the Kraken team, is you see those results come because you are sticking with what you need to do. Little success, try to build on that to get a win against one of the league's stronger teams.
And they did build on that with Jared McCann's equalizing goal on the power play. That is something that is really clicking right now for the Kraken, and we'll break that down in just a few moments' time. Well, you got to get on your bike when you are maybe down, and that's exactly what this person is doing here. Oh, marks off for clipping that cone. Oh, and that one. Exclusion. 1-1 here.
Kraken Intermission is presented to you by Jack in the Box.
We're starting to look a little bit festive with those twinkly lights just outside Climate Pledge Arena. Nice little touch as part of the rejuvenation of the Seattle Center, which, of course, a big part of is Climate Pledge Arena. Back inside with Ross Fletcher and Alison Lucan. 1-1 with the Washington Capitals here, the Kraken. And the power play, Alison, is firing up for Seattle. A 4th straight game with a power play goal, and you kind of sense something was coming from Seattle here.
Again, building blocks upon building blocks. Latch on to what works. And we knew that Seattle was driving offensive control. They set up on this power play after Yanni Gourde draws the hold, and they're just getting the puck into the front of the net. That's chaos. There's no real orchestration here. This isn't looking for the perfect shot. Just fire that rubber. I think it went in off a stick maybe, or a body.
We love a bit of chaos.
Exactly. It's those gritty goals that Mark Giordano referenced is how this Kraken team is going to get out of this hole. Look at what they did offensively in period 1. As we talked about, they had 55% of all shot attempts and 52.5% of all shot quality. They doubled up Washington in terms of offensive zone time with the pucks on their sticks. A really strong response. Dave Haxtell has to be happy with this start from his club.
They really are getting into the hard areas, as you saw from that shot chart there. Can they continue it? Typically, the second period is a a strong one for Seattle. Well, every time Seattle Kraken score a goal this season, WSECU will donate $250 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Washington State. Thank you for that. We've got one in the bank already tonight. How many more can the Kraken lay on this impressive Washington Capitals team? We'll find out. There's plenty of fight in the Kraken tonight.
Welcome back. It is a Kraken intermission presented by Jack in the Box, and this is the Capitals' only visit to Climate Pledge Arena this season. So far, the good news, Alex Ovechkin has been kept off the scoreboard. Angie Mentink with you here at the Ford Sports Desk. Thanks so much for being with us. Now, the Capitals are coming off back-to-back shutouts. That streak ends tonight when Jared McCann scored on the power play. Our Piper Shaw chats with him after his 7th goal of the season. Perhaps we don't have that. Okay. We will try to connect with Piper Shaw in just a little while. Right now, we wonder where you are rooting on the Kraken. Let us know. Use the hashtag #WhereIRoot. Kraken taking on the Capitals. Let's go, boys, from Snow Joe. I love the fact that everybody has got their purple on tonight. And then J.S. Barry sends this photo in. Here for our first NHL game on my 49th birthday. I prefer to call it my victory lap through my 40s. And then finally, we've got this one from Jessica. Let's go Kraken. All right, so now we have got Piper Shaw with Jared McCann.
Thanks, guys. Jared McCann is here with me. Jared, a power play goal for you. We're starting to see that unit start to execute a little bit better. What's been the difference in the last couple games here?
Just keep it simple, funnel pucks to the net, that type of stuff, and it's been working for us. Power play in 4 straight games for us, so it's been nice.
We've talked about how important getting a strong start would be for you guys. A pretty strong start so far. What's your read on this first period?
We've been playing well. Obviously need to tighten up in the D zone a little bit, and they're funneling a lot of pucks to the net, so we just got to watch that.
You know that the Capitals have this aggressive, explosive offense. How do you continue to contain them through the next 2 periods?
Got to stay on their top guys. You can't give them time and space, and we should be fine.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck through the rest of the way.
Thank you.
And again, the 4th straight game for the Kraken, scoring on the power play. It's time for our second period McDelivery Super Mo moments of today's game. Brendan Tavin and the Kraken were wearing special purple sweaters before the game as part of the NHL's 23rd annual Hockey Fights Cancer campaign. Fantastic save by Grubauer there. And then Jared McCann collects his 7th goal of the season and ties the game up. And that's where we are right now, 1-1 after 1.
We're back in the Emerald City as the Kraken hit the tunnel for the start of the second period. JT, let's take a look at tonight's Wafed Bank saves of the game. It's all Philip Grubauer.
Grubauer had some really good looks on him, and he was able to shut the door, keep the game at a 1-goal game at that point. Here's a look at a breakaway right here. He comes out, he stands strong, waits for him to make the first move, and is able to get a pad save on a breakaway. Again, keeping the game tied, or not tied, excuse me, a 1-goal game.
Numbers made easy, presented by Geico. Shot volume was a big thing for the Seattle Kraken. They had 14 shots, but JT, you want to accentuate the shot attempts and why that's important.
Yeah, you want to just get pucks to the net. The more pucks you can get to the net, the better chance you have to score. But it also creates a little bit of havoc in the offensive zone. You're throwing pucks to the net. The defenders are trying to just box you out. They're not looking for the puck. The more chances you can create chaos down low, that helps Seattle on their forecheck.
Seattle had 24 shot attempts in period 1. John Carlson hounded in back of his own goal for Washington. Tom Wilson had it on the boards. He has Washington's goal. They scored first, answered by Jared McCann on the power play. Kelly Yarncroke defers back for Adam Larson. He'll fling it in. Jaden Schwartz flushed out by Ferravari. Martin Ferravari. Young defenseman all over him as Schwartz will stop and start. Lay it low by Gord. John Carlson gets to it. Clears along for Ovechkin. Faravari has a tough time with Gord on the way out, and so does Ovechkin. Yarncroke in the second period of the long change will dump it in. Just about 1 minute gone in it. Shots 14-11 Seattle. Jamie Oleksiak is paired on defense with Mark Giordano. Has the puck, he'll hinge out. Through center, he'll stretch out the ice for Johansson, negated by Nick Jensen. Aerial flip finding Nick Dowd. Sweep check by Giordano on him. Loose in front, Leeson. Defended by Johansson, not out. Orlov kicks it to an open space. Golfed ahead by Giordano. Wenberg a handoff for Marcus Johansson. Here come the Kraken. Played along in back of Eberle. That would have been offside. It goes by Carl Hagelin all the way back in. A handle in the trapezoid where he can by Grubauer. Leeson off a body. Off Wenberg, and now Eberle. A lead pass cut off by Brett Leeson. Taken down, Nick Dowd. Wenberg is on him. A penalty will follow.
Seattle 21 final for tripping.
Get a secondary look at this penalty on Wenberg. You see it and go for a stick lift right there. Looks like Dowd was already falling before the penalty.
Yeah.
Not quite sure that that's maybe a little bit of a softer call, but either way, this is a good opportunity. You have to kill this off. This is a momentum kill for Seattle.
Second power play for the Caps. Carlson straight away. Popping out Evgeny Kuznetsov. He'll take it in. He'll look it over, lay it back again for John Carlson. One-timer Ovechkin off the side of the goal. Helped there by Grubauer. Gord off the stick of Ovechkin and back out. Washington recoils. You're looking at Tom Wilson. Cross corner dump in. Protas. Ovechkin. Now turning is Wilson. He sets up Carlson. Here's Kuznetsov. He'll draw it to the wall and send it back. John Carlson looks it over. He'll dangle in for Evgeny Kuznetsov. Seam pass by Ovechkin. He's got it. A reset for Carlson. Ovechkin top of the ring. Cross ice Kuznetsov. Carlson a one-timer. Goes off a stick astray. Protas sets up Ovechkin, who flings it all the way around for Kuznetsov. He's picked up by Donskoy. He gets it back from young Protas. Back up top it goes. It's Carlson. He'll dangle. Ovechkin calling for it. 1 minute left of the power play. Off the boards, Evgeny Kuznetsov from the half wall. Takes it in on Jonas Donskoy. Lays it back again for Carlson. One-timer Ovechkin stopped. And no rebound given up by Grubauer. Here's a look at Comcast Business of Hockey. Alex Ovechkin, just 2 goals shy of the great Dave Andreychuk for #1 in terms of all-time power play goals.
And he's in his office. It's crazy because everyone knows where he's going to be on the power play, what they're trying to do, feed him the puck, get the one-timer off, but you can't stop it.
Colin Blackwell will take the face-off for Seattle. You see their alignment with Tanev and Blackwell, along with Soucy and Oleksiak, the quartet of killers, and Tanev with a self-pass and a foot race. He wins. He'll cut. Think about it, off the pad of Vanacek. Washington gets to it. They will reestablish a breakout with 32 seconds left in their power play. Carlson flings it back, and Alex Ovechkin will get to it. Ovechkin now rethinks it. Curling to it is Kuznetsov through the middle of the ice, picked up by Blackwell. A clean entry for Washington. He throws on the brakes. Lays it back for Carlson. Awaiting is Ovechkin. John Carlson one more time. A shot blocker down by Grubauer. Here's Ovechkin by Protas. Again Kuznetsov. 3 seconds on the kill for Seattle. Held in by John Carlson. It goes by Alexei Protas, and now Carson Soucy off the boards and out. Wenberg's out of the box. It jumps his stick. Even turns on the ice and also where it counts. Here at Climate Pledge Arena. Fed in by Justin Schultz. Grubauer looks around. Furthered by Soucy for Eberle. A lead pass for Marcus Johansson. Here come the Kraken. Eberle holding on to it. He'll cushion it down deep. Wenberg awaiting to the point. Giordano. He'll move it in all the way around. Jordan Eberle out of the corner. He'll send it back for Vince Dunn. He'll send it in by Schultz. Johansson out of the corner again. Cycles deeper for Wenberg. Negated by McMichael off the paddle of Vanacek. He gets it back. Alex Wenberg, a good pass. Finding Giordano. Intentionally off the boards. Johansson had it. He lost it now. Orlov. A backhand aerial flip out to center. Giordano sends it back. Done. Indirect pass. Johansson hounded. Gapping up. Schultz. Now Seattle in the person of Jordan Eberle. It goes off the stick of Connor McMichael, and it goes out of play. Want the most updated game stats in real time? Download the official Kraken and Climate Pledge Arena mobile app for the Game Day Companion feature. Access everything about the game right from your phone. Search Kraken and Climate Pledge Arena in your app store today. Don't tell me you have that one too.
I got them all.
You're the king of downloads. You didn't know that, did you? You are now. Out to center. Tanev broken up. He gets it back. Patted down by Vanacek, and now Donskoy. Off defensive sticks, Jeremy Lauzon dancing at the point. Wristing one. Tanev collects it. Out of the corner, Brandon Tanev will cycle out. Helped in by McCann. Donskoy just through the top of the goal crease. Off his backhand. Now McCann for Donskoy. Interrupted by Dowd. Hagelin back out to dead center. Seattle reorganizes. Jared McCann, who scored his 7th goal of the season tonight on the power play. Dowd off the boards, out to center. Dunn, away from Brett Leeson. Now Soucy off a stick, captured by Washington's Nick Jensen. Off the window, through the neutral zone. Blackwell moves it in by Dennis Cholowski. Ryan Donato goes to work. Geekie digs it out. Here's Blackwell to the point. Dunn shot blocked in front by Dowd, located by Geekie. He'll take it away from the pack. Morgan Geekie guarded by Nick Jensen. He's held. Penalty upcoming against Washington. Delayed whistle. Grubauer. The long change. Here's Dunn. Across it goes. Soucy off the boards. Seattle still in possession. Turning is done. He'll look it over. This way, Colin Blackwell. Tipped right on. They score! Ryan Donato out in front. On the weak side, Jaden Schwartz as it ricochets around. And with the extra man out there, it's enough. Seattle with a 2-1 lead.
This goal all started by just getting the puck in deep, getting on the forecheck. You get Washington to take a penalty. You have the extra attacker. Right here, you see the look into the middle. The puck bounces right over to Schwartz at the right place, right time. Soucy with a tip. Goes off of Jensen. I believe it was a Jensen stick or skate right in front. But Blackwell head up, vision, looks for that little slap pass. Schwartz in the right place, right time, and is able to put it right in the back of the net.
Jaden Schwartz picks up his 4th goal of the season. The Kraken now with their first lead of the game. Wilson overskates it. John Carlson back out to the center zone. Martin Faravari dumps it all the way around. Here's Ovechkin. Let go for Kuznetsov. Lauzon for the Kraken. Schwartz, the goal scorer, takes it back. Jaden Schwartz now winded up. Washington gets to it. Wilson, Carlson, he'll field it. Was off a body off Gord, and now Lauzon under pressure. Gord pops it out. Kelly Arncroke, Yanni Gord. Here they come. Gord over the line in the zone with Schwartz a trailer in front. They score! That's hockey, baby! Adam Larson on the back door. Seattle by 2.
Larson with a quick strike after Seattle's last goal. You see Gord take the puck out, make a great pass across, and there's not a whole lot Vanacek can do. He's on the back post already. It's on and off the stick from Larson up to the top part of the net. Tough save, but a great pass from Yanni Gord, and awesome job by Larson getting up, using his legs, getting into the play, and using that defense into offense and turning it into a goal.
Adam Larson, his first goal as a Seattle Kraken. Seattle in business. with a 2-goal lead. 7 minutes gone in the second period. Johansson now will face off against Connor McMichael. For the center zone, Schultz. Janssen, Vialbi can't make it happen. It's fed in offside. We get a stoppage. 12:50 left to go in the second period. They come in bunches. And on Hockey Fights Cancer Night, this might be a great night for Seattle. Adam Larsson makes it 3-1. 3-1 Seattle. The Northwest Chevy Silverado drive to the net. Here it is.
You have the extra attacker. Blackwell gets the puck up top, keeps his head up, looks for options, finds Susie in the middle. Schwartz going to that back post. Puck ends up going right on his tape. Able to put it into the back of the net. Fortunate bounce for Seattle, but right place, right time for Jaden Schwartz.
Schwartz, who came on as the extra man in that sequence. 12:50 left in the second period. See the 3 goal scorers so far for the Kraken. We're looking to snap a 6-game skid here tonight. Game number 5 of 6 straight at home. Carolina is here on Wednesday. They will play in San Jose tomorrow night. Johansson out to center, shadowed by Garnet Hathaway. Dumped all the way back in the Washington zone. Icing is called here. EQC scoring summary. Schwartz at 6:17 from Susie and Blackwell. Adam Larsson is first. From Yanni Gord and Kelly Yarncroke, his first scoring point of the season on the 3rd goal. Battle ensues off the draw, dug out by Washington's Kuznetsov. Feravari has a tough time with Jordan Eberle. Jamie Oleksiak, as Wilson touched up offside, we get a stoppage.
Kind of surprised they didn't take that one. That offside's all the way down into Washington's defensive zone. Looked like Wilson knew the puck was offside, still went in. Either way, you got a face-off outside the zone. Team gets to change and get back to it.
It's a good point. It could be deliberate offside. We'll take it all the way back in the Washington zone for our new fans. Yanni Gord, Jaden Schwartz, Kelly Yarncroke. Dave Axtell looking to strike a balance with his forward lines here tonight. And so far this has worked out. Lauzon now picked off by Wilson to the middle of the ice, shoved back by Yarncroke. Larsson across for Jeremy Lauzon, moving it by Yanni Gord all the way back, icing here against Seattle. 8 minutes gone in the second period. You know, JT, we hear coaches, and Dave Haxtell has been talking a lot about this, a simple brand of hockey. What does he mean when he says it?
I think it's all about just getting pucks in, getting pucks out of your zone, but knowing when's the right time to make a play and take those extra chances.
Grubauer says no, and that attempt by Nick Jensen. Schwartz, a bouncer wide of Vanacek. Hathaway under pressure. Yarncroke is all over him. Out of the corner. Both guys go down, and now Nick Jensen will get to it. He has open ice, a stretch pass, a down and out. McMichael right on, denied by Grubauer.
Really good save. Obviously a play. You had McMichael with a lot of speed on the outside, sends it down for an icing. Grubauer's able to hold up against the post and make the save. And just going back to the simplifying the game, I know a lot of times we talk about, you know, getting pucks in deep, dumping the puck, getting it on the forecheck, but that's not every single shift. There's times and places when you can make those plays, and deciding that and having the smarts of knowing if there's no play, just get it in. If there is, you make that play. But that's the simple brand of hockey.
Right on. Off the boards. Vanacek will manage the game, get a face-off. 11:25 left in the second period. Jaden Schwartz and Adam Larsson have scored here in the second period. The Kraken have a 2-goal lead.
You'll find that teams sometimes want to try to do too much, and they're trying to make too many plays. when they could just get the puck in, get it back, put it in a place where you could go. It's just making that one extra move or trying to make that one extra pass instead of just making the easy play.
Alexei Protas. Brendan Tanev on this faceoff. Tanev locates the puck. McCann out in front. Alexiak has a tough time keeping the zone. He gets to it and he'll lift it ahead. Vanacek will put it on a tee for Justin Schultz. Dennis Cholowski gets a little help from his goaltender. Now Schultz off a stick on the way out. Good stick by Tanev. Giordano. Chip in charge off the stick of Brandon Tanev. Vanacek will leave it there. Cholowski flushed out a bit by Donskoy. Stretch pass finding Daniel Sprong. He'll pull up. Sprong now rims it all the way around. Awaiting is Carl Hagelin. Back in. Protas in back of the goal. Off a defensive stick off Dunn. Dunn hounds Protas and now back again for Feravari. Hit hard. Colin Blackwell all over him. Along the boards now. Sprong low to high. John Carlson. Far side. Martin Feravari off the boards intentionally. And now getting to it is Hagelin. Carlson does the same. He'll feed it off the wall. Dunn hunts it down for Seattle. Gloved down by Feravari. Met there by Blackwell. Dunn sets up a wide open Carson Soucy. Washington is changing. So is Seattle. So he has time. Just about halfway through. Shots are 18 Seattle. 15 for Washington. Icing is called here. Get 10% off purchases at any Kraken team store when you join the Depths, our official membership program. Don't miss great benefits like exclusive events, priority ticket access, gifts, and more. Go to KrakenMembership.com and join today. Face-off win by Geekie. Laid along the boards and brought out by Donato. He'll move it by Jensen all the way back down. Orlov to the outside. Holding onto it. Play it back. Wedged out of the zone by Leeson. It's a foot race. Larson. A shove on Janssen. Fialbi, and now Adam Larson to the outside. By Orlov and back out. Getting to it. Marcus Johansson. He'll wipe it in. Leeson out of the corner. Moved back along the boards. A tie-up. Wenberg met there by Dowd. Janssen Fialbi, dead center for Dmitry Orlov. Wide of Adam Larson. He'll feather it deep by Leeson. Jeremy Lauzon. Played along for Wenberg. Off the stick of Kuznetsov. He gets it back. Forges ahead. Schultz patted down. Grubauer. Kuznetsov off the defensive stick on the way back. Good job that time by Wenberg. All the way around now. Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Plays it by Kuznetsov. Tom Wilson hits a hole. Crunched a bit by Lauzon. Eberle now moved out. Trevor Van Riemsdyk gets help from Kuznetsov and back again. Schultz a lead pass for Wilson. Hit hard. Jeremy Lauzon all over him. Now Wenberg in back of the goal. Wide open is Jaden Schwartz. Off the boards. Held in briefly by Van Riemsdyk. Jarnkrok swings it across for Wenberg. His pass after he was finished off by Ovechkin goes off Schwartz and it gets deep. Evgeny Kuznetsov. Stretch out the ice. Ovechkin swings it across again. This time for Schultz. He'll shift it in. He was bumped on the way through by Giordano. 8:15 left in the second. 3-1 Seattle. Giordano for Schwartz. Played off the boards. Trevor Van Riemsdyk looking over both shoulders. Forechecked by Kelly Jarnkrok. He'll get to it. To the point, Alexiak. He'll play it off the boards. Inside it goes. Now Yanni Gourde holding onto that puck. He'll cycle out. Giordano at the point. Plays it off the board. Schwartz in back of the goal. Corrals it. Tries the other side. He has Gourde in front. So is Donskoy. Schwartz moves it in. Red defensively, but not played by Schultz. Winding out. Jonas Donskoy. Here's Alexiak. Played off a body off Alexei Protas. He'll clear it out. A foot race. Janssen Fialbi goes to work on Tanev. Out in front. Great sweep check on the way back by Giordano on McMichael. Here's McCann. Lead pass for Donskoy. Seattle gets a change in. Alexei Protas Lays it along the boards to the point. Dunn. High slot McCann. Now Blackwell with a shot tipped wide. 10 about in front. Protas. A lead pass for Connor McMichael. He's hit hard by Blackwell. Dunn. Out to center. Protas had it. He lost it. Here come the Kraken. Susi over the line. Donato dangles. Leaves it for Blackwell. Right in. Blocked by Protas. He gets it back. Blackwell resets for McCann. McCann stretches it out. Carson Susi plays it deep. Blackwell supported by Ryan Donato cuts with it. Baravari had it. He lost it. Alexei Protas has it for Washington. And away they go. In the skates of Nick Dowd. Brent Leeson was offside. We get a stoppage. 6:32 left in the second period. A trifecta of physicality. Larson rubs out his guy. Lauzon takes care of Wilson. Blackwell all over Connor McMichael. We come back with a nice look at Philip Grubauer, the subject of tonight's Symetra teammates, a member of the Washington Capitals. And in 2018, I'll tell you what, he started the playoffs as the #1 goaltender. Then Braden Holtby took over. But he had an outstanding run with Washington where he really developed in a moment he'll never forget.
That's not something that every player gets to do, even just play in a Stanley Cup game, but to win it, a special moment.
Last season, a finalist for the Vezina Trophy as a member of the Colorado Avalanche. Made his debut in late February of 2013. Kuznetsov swung across. Good read by Schwartz. Open ice. He and Kelly Yarncroke, who has it. He'll dangle in, cut across, shoot one. He scores! How about that? Kelly Yarncroke is off the schneid with his first of the season. 4-1, Seattle.
You know, that one's got to feel good for Calle Yarncroke. He's been waiting for that first goal. A great read by Jaden Schwartz, tips the puck out, goes to the net. The patience, gets the defender to go down, rifles it right over the top of the glove. A great shot from Calle Yarncroke in what should be the 400th point in Jaden Schwartz's career with that assist right there.
Outstanding. Great night for a great veteran. 400 in the National Hockey League for Jaden Schwartz. And a brilliant finish by Calle Yarncroke. 3-goal cushion for the Kraken. Eberle lays it out. Jensen coming all the way back. Under 6 left in the second period. Leeson goes across for Hagelin. He'll dump it in. Giordano finished off in a hard way by Nick Dowd. It comes back out to the center zone. Carl Hagelin moving it back. EQC with a scoring summary. Yarncroke is first at 13:51 from Jaden Schwartz with his 400th NHL point. Now, Leeson out to center. Gapping up, Oleksiak is all over him. Dunn to the boards, a loose play. Good poke check. A long 6'7" reach of Oleksiak. He'll go across in the skates of McCann. Baravari. Janssen Fialbi moves it back for Carlson. He'll chip in charge by Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Axel Janssen Fialbi plays it to the far side. Baravari this way for Carlson. Winding shot swallowed up by Philip Grubauer. 5:01 left in the second period. All kinds of celebrations here tonight at Climate Pledge Arena. The last one from Calle Yarncroke. Kraken Hockey is brought to you by McDonald's McDelivery. Never miss the on-ice action with McDelivery. Download the McDonald's app to start your order now. And by Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, the official medical care provider of your Seattle Kraken, where everyone is having a good time tonight. John Forsland, JT Brown, downtown Seattle, Climate Pledge Arena. Under 5 left in the second period. 4-1 Kraken looking for their 5th win of the season. Protas for Washington moves it in for Hathaway, read by Jared McCann. who started the scoring in the first period with a power play goal for the Kraken. Tanev wins a battle. For the front, it's Donskoy. The trailer, McCann, right down Broadway, blocked in front. It's available, held in by Dunn. One-timer rockets off the glass from McCann. Dunn again with a screen wrister off Hathaway. Jared McCann. Alexei Protas moves it. Held in by Carson Soucy, regained by Protas. A stretch pass, wedged in the zone and wedged out of play by Garnet Hathaway.
McCann gets a really good chance, just sends it a little bit over the net. Excuse me, this is the first one. Tanev finds McCann in the slot on this one, is able to get the shot right in front. The second one was a look from Dunn. He's able to pass it over to McCann for a one-timer, just missed the net. So we had two really good looks there on that shift.
Line tonight for Jared McCann. He's had a real tough season, not in terms of his production. That's been spot on, but with COVID, now Jensen. We talked about that after the last game here against Colorado on Friday night. Puck is batted down with a high stick, so we get a stoppage here. 4:02 left in the second period.
And this is an important 4 minutes, the last 4 minutes of this period. Seattle needs to keep with the game plan and not give the Capitals any life getting ready to go into that third period. You want to go in with this lead, but you want to go into this third period strong.
That's right, Washington, an elite team offensively. Top 5 team in terms of goals for. Elite defensively. But the Kraken have 4 on Vitek Vanacek so far. Now Hagelin goes deep for Brett Leeson. Pinching down the wall, Nick Jensen off the stick of Grubauer. Played in front, cleaned up by Oleksiak. Jamie Oleksiak out of the corner. Aired on defense with Mark Giordano. Who plays it out for Marcus Johansson, who goes cross corner. Dmitry Orlov is back first for Washington with 3.5 left in the second period. John and JT with you as always. Here's Tom Wilson, the Washington goal scorer. He scored first here tonight. It's carried out by Kelly Arncroke, who has a 2-point evening going with a goal and an assist. Cholowski, former Kraken, under pressure. Dug out by Schwartz. To the outside and back for Larson. He'll cradle it. Jaden Schwartz with a shot. Answered by Vanacek. The Caps get to it. Wilson sealed off by Schwartz. Schultz to dead center. Kicked along by Jaden Schwartz. And now Dennis Cholowski has the puck. Shadowed by Gord. It's by Colin Blackwell. Grubauer out to handle. He'll move it all the way around. Schwartz pressured by Kuznetsov. And jam along the boards. Dug out by Alex Ovechkin. Greeted there. The Kraken take over and dump it out. Lead pass for Colin Blackwell. Cut off by Ferravari, forcing an offside with 2:34 left. Washington College savings plans. Get and dream ahead. Face off right here outside the line. Morgan Geekie, Connor McMichael. 2:34 left in the second period. 4-1 Kraken. Now Ferravari. Washington is 6-0-1 in their last 7. It was by Donato with help from John Carlson down to the goaltender Vanacek. Washington circles back out through center ice. McMichael shot in by Carlson, regained by Dunn. D-to-D passing with Carson Soucy. A quick up, chipped in the zone for a change by Geekie. Carlson moving it by Ryan Donato. 2 minutes left in the second period. Giordano off a stick. Through center now. Washington reorganizing. Ferravari at the line. Garnet Hathaway. He'll move it in. Oleksiak has time. Finished off hard by Hathaway. Donskoy a handoff. It's McCann. He'll dangle. Stick handle in the zone to the outside. They connect the dots. Giordano with a shot. Hung on to by Vanacek.
Really good play by Seattle here. This is one of those situations where you have time to make a play. You don't have to just dump the puck into the zone. Right here, you kicks it out wide. You're able to see Giordano jumping up into the play, being the defenseman up on the rush, sends a shot glove high. Vandercheck's able to make the save. But again, it's the picking and choosing of when you have time to make these plays that's been going good so far for Seattle.
Alex Wenberg and Nick Dowd on the draw, moved along out of the corner. Eberle sidesteps a hit. It's lugged out by the Capitals' Brett Leeson. Hagelin for the front. Hagelin in back of the goal, hounded by Johansson. Orlov creeping in, he's got it. He'll protect the puck, feed it in, read by Giordano. He can't kick it out. Hagelin gets to it, Dowd, Leeson, and now Justin Schultz. His shot blocked by Oleksiak. Dowd out of the corner, Giordano is on him. 1 minute left in the second period. The Kraken with a 3-goal lead. Now Marcus Johansson. Out to center ice. Alex Wenberg gains entry, pulls up, feathers away from Schultz. Orlov will move it, gloved by Justin Schultz with help from Brett Leeson out to center. It's moved in the zone by Adam Larsson, who has scored tonight for the Kraken. 38 seconds left here in the second period. A stretch pass chipped in the zone by Tom Wilson. Grubauer leaves it for Lauzon, finished off by Daniel Sprong. Jeremy Lauzon moves it by Alexei Protas. A pinch by John Carlson. Sprong in back of the goal, defended by Adam Larsson. Larsson plays it well. Sprong gets to it, though. Gets a second chance, and the skates of Protas picked off in front by Lauzon. The Kraken will escape harm. 9 seconds left in the second. Adam Larsson will get to it, play it off the boards, and back out. Shots are 23 Seattle, 16 Washington, and they are on their feet here in Seattle. Stay connected for Kraken Intermission presented by Verizon. That's coming up next. An explosion here in the second period delights the Kraken Nation. We were tied at 1. Jaden Schwartz, followed up by Adam Larsson, and then Kelly Yarncroke with his first. Seattle 4, Washington 1.
Kraken Intermission is presented to you by Verizon. 5G build right.
Well, the Kraken have their tentacles gripped firmly around the throat of the Washington Capitals. 4-1 they lead at the end of 2 here at Climate Pledge Arena. Ross Fletcher, Alison Lucan with you. A very enjoyable period there. You're loving my analogies, aren't you?
Ross.
I'll take that as a maybe. Look, I had some words, I think some adjectives here for the Kraken. High energy, committed on D, relentlessness in that period. I've got a dreadful memory, but is that the best period we've seen from the Kraken this season?
I think the word I liked the best that you gave there was committed. My word was focused, meaning they were committed to their system. They didn't shy away from what they needed to do. They didn't get rattled, mentally calm and composed. In that sense, so strong.
Let's have a look at the goals, shall we? 3 to savour from there, and a couple of firsts too. Before that, the going-ahead goal, Colin Blackwell to the net front, Jaden Schwartz for his 4th of the season.
What I really like here is the Kraken get that puck again into a dirty area of play. There's not a lot of control, not a lot that Washington can anticipate, allowing for the finish to come almost out of nowhere in terms of how a defense wants to be able to respond.
Just 43 seconds later, the Kraken were at it again. Adam Larsson's first goal from Yanni Gould's carry and cross slot pass.
We have talked about how dangerous rush chances are and why the Seattle wants to stop them. Now Seattle's capitalizing on their own. And we see here the odd man advantage sets the Kraken up for success. What a release by Adam Larsson there. I love that quick turnaround puck right off his stick.
Very cool finish. It was the first assist in Kraken colours for Kalle Yarncroke. And then he gets his first goal for the Kraken.
Look at the patience here to drop the defender, to get right in top of the slot, one of the most dangerous areas to shoot from, and the finish. If that's going to be your first goal of your tenure with the team, that's the way to do it. This is what the Kraken have put up. Look at, again, the focus on getting into the net front areas, the dangerous areas. In that second period alone, another strong showing. 61% of all shot attempts, 65% of all shot quality. We know that thank you to Natural Stat Trick.
Loads to like. They've got to finish the job.
That's right. There are 20 minutes left in this game. The Kraken have built on so many good things. This is equally a challenge because you cannot give up now. You have to continue to build, not take anything for granted. The Capitals are a dangerous squad. There's a lot of talent on that side of the ice. Commitment, continuing to build. Push, push, push for this win.
We'll look at the back end of things and how the Kraken have been shutting down the Washington Capitals, an elite NHL team. That's coming up next. The Kraken forging 4-1 ahead.
Kraken Intermission is presented to you by Verizon. 5G build right.
Well, Climate Pledge Arena dappled by red tonight. Plenty of Washington Capitals fans in here. They seem to be getting along. 7.5 out of 10 on the paint job as well there, I think, on the Capitals fan. You wouldn't give him any higher, would you?
Well, you 8 for Ovechkin, maybe.
Yeah, he needs to dial down the shine there. Give him some of your makeup here. to ease it off there. He's going to be going on dripping by the end of this.
It's not a choice I would make, but more power to him.
A lot of sweat on Philip Grubauer's face as well tonight. He's done a really good job, I think, holding it down. We talked about the need for making important saves at important times. We've seen that.
Key saves at key times is something you'll hear from coaches all the time. And Philip Grubauer has done that in particular against Alex Ovechkin. We talked in the pregame show how lethal this shot is on the power play.
Ovi's office.
Set up in his office. Look at all the time and space. And Grubauer stands right in front of that shot, turns it away. 2 times on this power play, which I think, again, can be a really important momentum booster for his team as goaltender. When you know your goaltender is locked in, you can feel more confident about your play in front of him.
And it wasn't just Ovechkin where Grubauer was strong. There's also the element of rebound control on some of these moments.
We talked about the strength of a rush chance in the goals that the Kraken got. Here, Grubauer turns one away. What I have really liked in what I've seen from Grubauer tonight is he is patient. He is really getting the opportunity to set up to turn away the shot. Here's what Washington is sending his way. Not as much of a challenge as what we see Seattle throwing towards Vanacek, but still some shot volume there. A lot of shots going towards him. He is standing tall, keeping his team controlled. They're able to push.
A little look at Philip Grubauer's performance there with the help of the Emerald Queen Casino Tracer. In just a moment, we will hear from Calle Jarnkrok, joint leading scorer last season with Nashville. He got his first for the Kraken tonight. It had been a while. It was coming, and now it is here. The Kraken lead 4-1.
Welcome back to Kraken Intermission, presented by Verizon. Capitals have won 6 of their last 7. A much different story for Seattle, who has lost 7 of 8, but lead after 2 periods. Angie Bentic with you here at the Ford Sports Desk. And the Kraken, they knew they were up against it tonight, no doubt about it. But I like something that John Forsland said at the beginning of this game. He said sometimes playing the best will bring out the best in you, and that is what we are seeing so far. A couple of guys scoring their first goals in Kraken uniforms, Adam Larsson and also Calle Jarnkrok, who is standing by with our Piper Shaw.
Thank you, Calle. This team hasn't always played the best third period. How do you guys make sure that you keep control of this for the full 60 minutes?
I think just keep doing what we're doing. We're keeping it simple today, and I think that's the key to win hockey games here.
There's some changes to the lines tonight, and 2 points for you. You feeling like that chemistry is working well for you?
Yeah, I feel like our line is working hard out there. I feel like every line is working hard out there, and hard work pays off.
Guys have said that this team really needed to get back to its identity. What does that identity look like, and are we seeing it so far?
I think you're seeing it today. Hard work. We don't give up much. Just full speed forward and pucks deep. Just keep the puck ahead of us, and we're going to keep doing that in the third.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck in the third.
Thank you.
All right, Piper, thank you. Here is a look at your second period McDelivery Supermo moments. Kraken's first chance to join the NHL's Hockey Fights Cancer program. Lots of good stuff tonight. Jaden Schwartz giving Seattle the lead. Blackwell with a hit there. Adam Larsson with his first goal in a Kraken uniform. And Calle Jarnkrok, the man we just heard from, with his first goal and first point, gives them a 3-goal lead. And that's where we sit right now, heading into the third period.
Kraken Hockey is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino is giving away 2 tickets plus $5,000 for the big game. Visit the EQC mobile app for more. So a powerful, explosive second period from the Kraken. Can they close it out against the Caps in the third? Let's find out with JT Brown and John Forsland.
Okay, Ross, thanks very much. My partner's been very good tonight at forecasting the future. Wilson scores first. He said, well, this is a good start for the Kraken. Second period, stick with the program. Now what?
You have to keep doing a lot of the same things. You don't want to sit back too much. You also don't want to take any unnecessary chances. Be smart at your blue line and be smart in the offensive blue line. Get pucks in deep, stay on the forecheck, but overall, you keep doing what you've been doing.
Numbers Made Easy, sponsored by Geico. Shots have been plentiful tonight for Seattle, but it's the quality of those shots that's so important. They have power play goals now in 4 straight games. That's been an eyesore for the team all season until now, but they're finally getting that aspect. They're bouncing back after their worst game of the season here Friday night, 7-3 loss against Colorado. They have lost 6 in a row. They're playing a team that is 6-0-1 in their last 7, and the Kraken have a 3-goal lead as we kick off period number 3. John Forsland, JT Brown, along with our great crew here at Climate Pledge Arena. The Carolina Hurricanes are here on Wednesday night. And we will start with Kraken pregame presented by Coors Light at 6:30. Jeremy Lauzon coming back to it. Carolina right now has the best winning percentage in the NHL out in front. Good defense by Wenberg and Adam Larsson. Larsson, who has scored his first goal this season, run into in a hard way by Tom Wilson. Ovechkin lays the body on Lauzon and a breakout develops. Here's Wenberg at the line. Kicking it to his stick, Larsson kicking it back for Wenberg, unattainable. But he recovers on it and moves it across for Jamie Oleksiak, who shoots in. Nick Dowd for Washington. Defended by 2 Kraken. It comes all the way across. Hagelin now sends it back for Nick Jensen. The early stages of this third period. A shoot in by Washington. It will go home and take on Montreal Wednesday night. Van Riemsdyk with a shot answered by Philip Grubauer. Jonas Donskoy through the center ice zone will flip it in. Van Riemsdyk forechecked by Tanev, regained by McCann. Off the goaltender Vanacek. Good idea by Jared McCann, who has scored tonight. Out the point. Flung across by Dunn for Soucy, popping out Donskoy. His shot right off the goal post. Jonas Donskoy looking for his first. Leeson off a body, defended by Dunn. He gets it from Carson Soucy. Seattle will change up front. Vince Dunn looks it over. Here's Morgan Geekie. He'll feather it by Dennis Cholowski. Schultz, Kuznetsov. Dead center. Vialbi now clears it in. Connor McMichael goes to work on the Kraken defense. Vince Dunn to the outside. Kuznetsov back for Dennis Cholowski. A handoff for Evgeny Kuznetsov off a stick, stopped by Grubauer a couple of times. Left at the side of the goal. He'll melt it down.
Couple of good saves early for Grubauer. This first one's off a chance from Van Riemsdyk. He's able to get the blocker on it. Seattle's able to get the puck away. Here's a close look off the crossbar from Donskoy. Still looking for that first one. That was a very good chance. Vanacek doesn't look like he could see it. A little late on the reaction. If it just had been an inch the other way, it might have been in.
Alexei Protas, 6'6" center. A rookie on this draw against Alex Wenberg. Wenberg wins it back. Giordano paired on defense with Jamie Oleksiak. A pinch by Carlson. Sprong centering pass doesn't click. Fished out of the zone by Giordano by Faravari. Here comes Wenberg. Everly out in front and never got through. Good play by Hathaway. It comes all the way back. Giordano this way for Jamie Oleksiak. Looking for a tip. None available now. Giordano chopped out of the zone. Daniel Sprong sends it back in Kraken ice, where they regroup. Jaden Schwartz who has recorded his 400th point. Here comes Ovechkin with a shot. He scores! Alex Ovechkin continues that climb up the ladder. 21 shy of Jaromir Jagr for number 3. And Washington is within 2.
And Ovechkin is probably the last player on the team you want to be darting in with a shot in alone on Grubauer. Makes no mistake. Puts it hard right above the glove. Does deflect right off of Grubauer's glove into the back of the net. But that's an elite shooter. That's a player that you don't want going in alone. And that's the mistakes, too, right at the blue line. You got to make sure you're strong on the puck and don't turn over the puck right outside the blue line.
So a lifeline for Washington. Their captain provides it with his 15th goal of the season and his 30th scoring point. And believe it or not, this is the best start of his Hall of Fame career. Out in front. He comes all the way back. Orlov in control. Good defensive stick. Partial breakaway. Brandon Tanev drops it off for Donskoy. Caught by Vanacek.
You can see it on their faces. What an answer that would have been. A great look. Tanev is able to read the D-to-D pass, tip it out into the zone. He's going for a break, realizes he has Donskoy coming in late. Low glove shot from Donskoy is able to go right in the glove of Vanacek. Good save, but it was a great chance for Seattle to extend that lead back to 3.
McCann, Donskoy, and Tanev stay out for Dave Haxtell. Soucy and Dunn are back. Face off as we see in the Washington zone. Moved along by Donskoy. Furthered by Jensen. Held in by Dunn. Tanev sends it all the way around. Here's Jared McCann. Underneath Van Riemsdyk. He'll protect the puck. Play it along the board. Stop and start a couple of times. Run into by Nick Dowd. Donskoy is sealed off nicely by Nick Jensen. He's got it. He'll move it out to the center zone. Washington on the gallop now. You're looking at Nick Dowd on the off wing. Run into in a hard way. Carson Soucy had the roadblock. And the Caps feed it all the way back in their own zone on Vanacek. He'll manage the game and get a face-off. 15:52 left in this third period.
Take another look at this goal from Alex Ovechkin. He takes the shot right there, 88 miles an hour. He does get a little piece of it, Grubauer does. Still able to get into the back of the net. He's got a great shot, a hard shot, and puts it right where he needed to for him to get that goal.
Peter Laviolette gets him back out there. McMichael will take the draw. Janssen, Fialbi, and Ovechkin are his line mates. Jarnkrok in the circle for Seattle, flanked by Gord and Schwartz. McMichael floats it out. Larson, indirect pass captured by Connor McMichael for a moment. Yanni Gord will pitch it in. Schwartz, full head of steam. Defended well, kicked out by Carlson, read by Lauzon. He'll advance right out in front, off Vanacek. Jaden Schwartz cycles high, goes deep, in back of the goal, to the far side. Yanni Gord by Jarnkrok. Schwartz with a shot wide. Now Larson looking on the back door for Jarnkrok, and now Lauzon feeds it in. Skirmish out in front, and a penalty is called by Justin St. Pierre. Yanni Gord was involved with Martin Feravari, and it looks like Gord will take a seat, JT.
Seattle 37, battle for goaltender difference.
Goaltender interference can always be a tough one. It's behind the play. Yanni Gord just runs right into him. Looks like he slipped a little bit. Yep, right on the leg. Pretty easy call for the officials, and now Washington has a chance on the power play to bring this game within 1.
Third power play of the game for Washington. 0 for 2. Clean win. Carlson to the outside. Kuznetsov with a shot blocked by Larson. It goes on to play. We get a stoppage. Really
important penalty kill here for Seattle. Obviously, the game, it's a 2-goal game. If they score, it'd be a 1-goal game, but it's also the time and the momentum right now, more so than what the score is.
1:52 left on this critical Kraken kill. Wilson and Wenberg in the circle. Washington in possession. Carlson will walk the line. Here's Ovechkin, a one-timer wide. Kuznetsov from the half boards goes downstairs. He gets it back from Protas. Evgeny Kuznetsov, one-timer faked by Carlson. Ovechkin all the way across, just by Alexei Protas. Now Kuznetsov again, guarded by Larson. Carlson straight away. John Carlson for Kuznetsov. Off Donskoy, reset by Wilson. Carlson delays. In the ring, it's Kuznetsov. He'll draw it back to the line. Protas in front. What a save! Grubauer robbing Tom Wilson.
That's twice this game they've used Wilson in that bumper slot for a one-timer on the power play, and Grubauer both times had to make 2 huge saves.
65 seconds left in this power play. Full head of steam for Kuznetsov. Clean entry. Defended at the last moment by Susi. Protas. Around it goes. Fed in by Carlson. Kuznetsov went down. Oleksiak gets it out. 49 seconds left on Seattle's kill. Vanacek all the way around. Ovechkin with a give back and a reset here for Washington. Prolific scoring defenseman Carlson. A headman pass for Wilson. Now Kuznetsov in the zone for Ovechkin. Kuznetsov, it goes by him. McMichael can't get to it. Oleksiak will. Helped out of the zone by Blackwell. Open ice, shorthanded. It's Tanev. He'll spin. His shot rejected by Vanacek. Seattle looking for their first shorthanded goal in history. Beautiful move by Brandon Tanev. Now McMichael stops on a dime. Feeds it all the way around by Sprong. Justin Schultz in. 7 seconds on the power play. Off Larson. Ovechkin with a shot stopped by Grubauer. He took care of the rebound. Larson will get to it. Wenberg's got it. The Kraken have killed it off. 2-on-1. Gord out of the box with Donskoy. The trailer, Lauzon, stopped by Vanacek. 13:04 left in regulation time. Philip Grubauer coming through with timely save after save. What a sequence and what a dandy off Tom Wilson. Well, JT, as you know, the saying is your goalie has to be the best killer.
And Grubauer was on this power play. You're going to see Wilson right out in the slot, a spot where TJ Oshie, who is not playing tonight, is usually in that spot. You have another look there from Ovechkin shooting the puck from out deep. He, again, like you said, was the best penalty killer for the last power play on a power play for Washington.
20 stops tonight for the Seattle goaltender. 4-2 Kraken lead. John and JT here out to center. Leeson rejected stick save. Grubauer directed right to the corner. Hagelin dug out, cross ice. Schultz with a shot kicked out with a purpose by Grubauer. Jensen, not Schultz, at the point. I beg your pardon. Now it's played along the boards. Orlov will get to it. He'll creep in on Wenberg. He'll think twice. He'll draw it back. He'll play it deep. Brett Leeson on and off his stick by Hagelin, and now Eberle floats it back out. Dmitry Orlov, Nick Jensen at the line. Washington gets onside. He'll thread it in. Vince Dunn. Kick to his stick by Seattle's Carson Soucy. Now Dunn. Fans on a clear out. Tanev helping out the D. Soucy is one of those. They'll just flip it through center ice, and Trevor Van Riemsdyk is back on it. Seattle can change because of that. Just about 8 minutes gone in this third period. 4-2 Kraken. Cross ice pass. Ovechkin at the line. Off a stick. Off Oleksiak. Off the glass in play. Fialbi to the point. This is Schultz. His shot swallowed up. No rebound. Given up by Grubauer.
Another good save from Grubauer. You're starting to see this Washington Capitals team play with a little bit, I guess, a little more energy. They're out here. They're trying to make a play. They're down in the third period. They have these opportunities coming to them, but they're working for them right now. Seattle's got to get back to some of the things they were doing in that first and second period.
Protas and McCann on the draw. Little pushing and shoving. Garnet Hathaway. That's in his DNA. Giordano had none of it. Just settle it down here and do it again. Hathaway will cross sticks with McCann, who wins it back for Oleksiak. Along the boards. Cleared all the way down. Schultz wins the race easily. Icing against Seattle. Fans, don't miss your chance to see the Kraken live at Climate Pledge Arena. A very limited number of select home game tickets available now. Be part of history for the inaugural season. Go to Ticketmaster.com for tickets. Protas wins the draw. Sprung with a shot swallowed up by Grubauer.
That's a set play right there. Putting your right-handed shot on the wall. So as soon as that puck is drawn back, it's right on the forehand. He's able to go across the top of the circle, get a nice shot in on Grubauer.
Protas tried to go forward with help from McCann. Oleksiak by Tanev out, read by Van Riemsdyk, and right back in. Grubauer contains it. Giordano, the captain, to the outside. This is Jamie Oleksiak. Will stretch out the ice off the stick of Donskoy, and here come the Capitals. Sprong with a shot. Great stop by Grubauer. A pad save that time. 3-on-2 comes Seattle. Schwartz feathers in for Donskoy. Justin Schultz defending for Washington, dug out by Gord. Here's Larson. He'll move it by Gord, by Schultz, who recaptures it and lays it out through center ice with touch. No icing. Adam Larson, both teams changing. A quick up, forged in the zone by Yanni Gord, but he never got to it, it appears. Icing is called here.
Grubauer standing on his head here in the third period. Sprong cuts across and is able to get a quick shot off. The reflexes for the left pad, kick it out, and Seattle goes the other way. Good look at it right through the Oleksiak chance. He's trying to block it. That actually creates a screen then for Grubauer to fight that one off.
That would be the biggest screen available on the back end for Seattle at 6-7 now. Kuznetsov, good intentions though. Moved across. John Carlson. A lead pass for Tom Wilson. He'll pull up, lay it deep. Ovechkin moves in, takes out Lauzon, and helping out is Adam Larson. Good breakout for Seattle. Marcus Johansson with a self pass. He'll get after it. Gord in his skates, canceled by Wilson. Carlson stands up on Johansson out of the puck battle. Faravari moves it for Kuznetsov. Adam Larson sends it along the dasher all the way around. Lauzon in back of the goal. Gord, he tried a pop pass in front, broke it up. Good read by Wilson back out. Cherry picking is Ovechkin with Kuznetsov. Jeremy Lauzon swings it across for Adam Larson. Halfway through the third period. 4-2 Seattle. Looking to end a 6-game skid here tonight. Through center. Larson. Over the stick of Wenberg. Nick Jensen. Daniel Sprong. Garnet Hathaway had it. He lost it. Retracking is Eberle, and now Soucy for Larson. Indirect pass, Jordan Eberle. A lead feed for Tanev. Here they come. Crisscrossing with Wenberg. Brandon Tanev. Broken up by Sprong, not out. Soucy for Wenberg. He'll collect it. Move it for Eberle. Read nicely by Orlov. Nick Jensen off the boards. Out they are through center. 3-on-2. Here come the Caps. Hathaway in the skates of Protas. He gets it back. He slams it off Tanev. Stung by it. He's still down in the corner. Now Wenberg back out. Brandon Tanev will really limp off to the Seattle bench.
Yeah, it looks like it might have got him on the inside of the foot, and those ones are no fun to block a shot.
Now Jensen. Van Riemsdyk. Bialby with a shot snared easily by Grubauer. 8 minutes. 59 seconds left in regulation time. Climate Pledge Arena. 4-2 Seattle. Kraken Hockey is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try Jack in the Box's cheddar-loaded cheeseburger on a cheddar bun, and by Symetra Life Insurance Company, first founding partner of the Seattle Kraken and your teammate for whatever lies ahead. The Space Needle, Seattle center, and an injury here to Brandon Tanev.
Slap shot goes right in off the inside there on his leg. You can see he's visibly in pain, trying to get off the ice. Never feels good, but that's one that the boys will appreciate. You blocking the shot, getting in the lane. You see a look at them, look at him there on the bench there, got a smile. He looks like he'll be all right.
Great sign. Tough as nails. Ovechkin broken up, open ice. Yanni Gord scampers in. He's closed in on, and he shoves it wide. Good work by Schultz and Van Riemsdyk on the way back. Now it's dumped in. Trevor Van Riemsdyk to the outside for Justin Schultz. Chipped out by Wilson. It's a foot race won by Adam Larsson for icing.
That was a close one. Kuznetsov got on his horse, tried to track down Larsson to negate that icing. Good play by Gord to pickpocket Ovechkin. You got two back checkers going in on Gord. That's a tough position for Gord to be. Almost a clear breakaway. Just needed a little bit more steam there.
Wenberg and his group come out. The troika is Wenberg, Johansson, and Eberle. Kuznetsov getting low on the draw. Johansson off the target, right off Vanacek. Schultz. Wilson never saw it. Eberle did. He'll get to it. Jordan Eberle circles the track, throws on the brakes, hounded by Kuznetsov, plays it, glove down, controlled by Wenberg. Eberle's taken down. They play on. Here's Larsson. He'll move it. Eberle awaiting. The referee is guilty of interference. Now Eberle to the outside. That's not a penalty. Now left and back of the goal. Wenberg out of the corner, holding onto it. He'll move it by Justin St. Pierre, who got out of the way that time. Now in front, Van Riemsdyk. Ovechkin all the way across, skate to stick retrieval. Wilson, Alex Ovechkin moves it along the boards and around. Here's Protas on a change. Alexi Protas in back of the goal. Wilson, Ovechkin's in front. He'll take it to the outside, and back it goes. Carlson faking the shot, wristing one off Johansson, who checks out his stick. It's okay. Carlson knocks it down. Carlson now feeds it in the screen off a stick onto play, stopping play with 7:37 left.
Won't that be something if the player could call interference on the ref? I think that one might get abused, though.
Yeah. We never finished the game. Be here all night. But it happens. I mean, this game is so fast and so easy for us upstairs. But how these officials stay out of harm's way is remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Now, Protas broken up. McCann back out. Sprong, a handoff. John Carlson now. Feravari. Martin Feravari moved in by Hathaway. Here's Grubauer directing traffic. He'll move it. Tanev, no worse for wear, has the puck. Back out to center ice. 7:17 left in regulation time. Feravari moves it. Hathaway laid it in his skates. It comes out. Good poke check that time by Giordano. Back in the Washington zone, John Carlson. Martin Feravari swings it across. Nice collection that time by Hathaway. He'll move it in. Vince Dunn coming back for the Kraken. Gave it away. Jensen moves in. Nick Jensen sealed off by Ryan Donato. Seattle attempting to get to it. Sprong looks to trap the zone a couple of times. He will now to the corner. Hathaway. Here's Jensen. One-timer. Orlov off a body off Geekie, who gets to it. He'll move it out. Jensen. Daniel Sprong. At the Seattle line, Connor McMichael going deep. Taken down by Colin Blackwell. Wilson takes down his man, who's slow to get up. That's done. Here come the Caps. A shot by Orlov off the metal. Jensen. Wilson. His shot rejected in front. Good play by Susi. And it comes out to the center zone. Nick Jensen. Fialbi to an open corner. Johnson Fialbi plays it along, and now Seattle's back out 2-on-2. Yanni Gord looking for a friend to pass to. He clears it in back of Vanacek, and now Jaden Schwartz. Negated by Van Riemsdyk. Turnover. Yarncroke, Gord. Good stick by Schultz. Now McMichael. Back in his own territory. Washington gets it out. Played along by Larsson for Gord. Gord goes in. Icing is called here against Seattle. 5:35 left in regulation time.
Got an important face-off here for Seattle. Washington, since there was an ice, they're able to change. They put the Ovechkin line right back out. Here's a big hit from Blackwell. Looks like McMichael's already going down a little bit. And now Wilson off the backside takes out Dunn behind the net.
It's a 2-goal game. We'll keep an eye on Vanacek and see if Peter Laviolette is one of those coaches that will go for the early pull. Icing is called here. 29 shots Seattle, 28 taken by Washington. Peter Laviolette won a Stanley Cup in Carolina in 06. Took Philadelphia to the final in 10. Took Nashville there in 17. Face off. Ovechkin snared by Grubauer. Larson is stopped by Philip Grubauer. Ovechkin thought he had his second. His former teammate will come up big on a face-off win by Kuznetsov. Grubauer says no. We're going down the stretch in Seattle. JT, take us through the 4 goals.
It's a great backhand on the power play from McCann. A good heads-up play, finding Susie, and then Schwartz on the back door for the tap-in. Gord and Larson get on a 2-on-1. Makes no mistake on and off the stick. And this beauty by Yarncroke delays, puts it right over the top of the glove of Vanacek on the 4th one.
5:24 left. John Forsland, JT Brown here in Seattle. False start off the draw. Evgeny Kuznetsov for the Caps. Yarncroke booted out. Gord comes in. Washington one-timer. Carlson off the pipe. Going down. Grubauer still available. It kicks out to Faravari. Off bodies again. Fanned on by Ovechkin, and Seattle gets out of dodge.
Wow. Just wow on that one.
Mercy, what chaos out in front. Carlson moved in off Grubauer in back of the goal. The Kraken get to it. Larson off the glass. He'll send it out. It'll make it icing against Seattle. 4:46 left. Wow.
They're going to have to remember this sequence. Off the face-off, Schwartz does a good job to not allow Ovechkin to get the puck off the post. Grubauer dives back, knocks it out. Like John says, it's hack and whack time in front of the net. They're not able to get it in. Grubauer with the reaction to know what's going off the post right behind him, throws the stick back.
Vanacek still in goal. Schultz moved in. Sprong, tough angle, shut down Grubauer. Sprong again out in front off his own man Protas. Gord for Johansson. Captured by Orlov. Swung out. Alexei Protas through the center zone, off the stick of Hathaway. Giordano moves it back for his partner. Oleksiak to the wall. The puck overskated slightly by McCann. Protas goes deep. Sprong given a shove by Oleksiak. 4:10 left. The goaltender stays put for the Caps. Oleksiak to the outside. Hathaway off a stick and back it goes. Schultz at the point, forged out by Donskoy. Good play. Seattle can change because of that. Under 4 minutes left in regulation time. 4-2 Seattle. On Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Carlson takes it back. Through the center zone, chip in charge by Dowd. Here's Oleksiak. He'll wind it up. He has room. He'll cruise it by Tanev. Faravari turns it out. Through the center zone on the attack now. Dowd. McMichael for the front. And on Grubauer, he'll scoop it up.
Another couple looks at this save. It's just a shot from the point off the back of the post. He reaches back and is able to knock it out. You have Kuznetsov going right to the post. The reactions from Grubauer, able to knock it away before Kuznetsov is able to have an empty net.
Wow.
And even Ovechkin trying to get a whack in at it.
Great look by our fantastic crew. 3:34 left. Vanacek is on the bench. So the hook comes out with 3 and change on the clock. We've seen it earlier in a 2-goal game. Face off in the Kraken zone. 1-1 game after one. Seattle with 3 in the second period. And 2 were scored within 43 seconds of each other. Ovechkin scoring in this third period. Laviolette jaws away at Justin St. Pierre, the referee. 6 out for him. Nick Dowd draws it for Kuznetsov. He'll work Lauzon. Jeremy Lauzon wraps him up, and a penalty is called for holding.
Not the time to be taking a penalty right here. You see Lauzon grabs around. He wraps him right up, doesn't allow Kuznetsov to make a play. The ref is going to be able to see that all day. Basically gave him a bear hug. And now you have another huge kill for the Kraken.
Washington, we'll talk about it briefly. They'll keep their timeout. They'll send the goaltender back as we see. Gord will come out as a killer with Donskoy up front. The Kraken have Giordano and Larson on the back end. Kuznetsov, Protas, Wilson, Carlson, Ovechkin for Washington. Face-off controlled by the Caps. Here's Carlson. To the outside, hammered by Kuznetsov, going down, Giordano with the block. John Carlson at the point. He'll trap it away from Donskoy. Evgeny Kuznetsov out in front, rejected by Grubauer. Protas on the doorstep. The Kraken get it out. $1:40 left on their kill. Giordano flings it in. John Carlson there, Gord got it. Up top it goes, Giordano. Shot off the mark in the screen. That'll stop play.
Good hustle from Yanni Gord. Be able to track down that puck, waste a little bit more of Washington's power play time.
That power play time is down to 1:28. 2:55 on the game clock. Timeout. Washington. Fubo TV Kraken calendar. Let's take a look. We'll be busy, and that's good. We've had a week off to relax, I guess. But anyway, this homestand will wrap up Wednesday night. Rod Brindamore, the reigning coach of the year, leads the Carolina Hurricanes here. We start at 6:30. Then after Turkey Day in Tampa Friday, at Florida Saturday. Then, of course, you would go to Buffalo for Monday and then end up in the Motor City on Wednesday, December 1st. Why not? Pack everything you have, JT.
Shorts and your peacoat.
That's right. 2 jackets. But the business here is important. This team has worked hard all night long. They've been frustrated. They've been pressing. They had their worst game of the season here on Friday night. They're looking to snap a 6-game skid. This crowd has been behind this team even in the 7-3 game Friday night. They had the energy going all night to the bitter end when Colin Blackwell scored. Now they want their team to kill it off and pick up their 5th win in history. Face off in the Cap zone. Carlson for Ovechkin. He'll move it back. Kuznetsov with 2:47 on the clock. John Carlson. There goes Vanacek. It'll be a 6-on-4. Kuznetsov snared again. It'll dance by Grubauer. He'll hang on.
Thought he might set it down, go for the empty net.
That would be something.
I mean, he made the wise decision to cover up.
But they're shorthanded, so, you know, your point's well taken. No icing, right? You can do it.
Everybody loves a goalie goal.
Yes, especially the goalies. Now Wenberg in a draw here with Dowd. Giordano will get to it. Held in, Kuznetsov to the point. Fumbled by John Carlson. It was a bouncing puck. Tough for him to settle. 59 seconds on the Washington power play. 2:23 left in regulation time. 4-2 Seattle. Kuznetsov over the line. He'll deal it to himself. take it away from Giordano. Here's Carlson. Now Ovechkin to give back. Carlson a wrister. Blocked in front by Giordano. Played by Wenberg. Sealed off by Wilson. 39 seconds on the power play. A reset for the Caps. Here they come. It's Ovechkin. All the way across. Knocked down by Wilson. His shot stopped by Grubauer. It's available. Hack and whack time. A snow angel for Philip Grubauer.
And the bodies piled right in at the blue paint. Grubauer with a huge save. Ovechkin throws a hard pass in the air. Wilson puts it down, throws it right off the pads. And then you have Protas and Dowd right in front trying to get that puck and slam it home. But Grubauer again standing strong right at the top of the blue paint.
Holding his ground. Excellent work by the Kraken tender. Kuznetsov will come in now, posed by Yanni Gord. Ovechkin with a shot blocked by Donskoy, and it goes out of play. 25 seconds on the power play. $1:51 left.
Kuznetsov done a good job so far this game, bringing it right back to Ovi in a spot where he can one-time it. That time Donskoy goes out, pays the price, blocks the shot up and out of play, but that's what you needed, especially late in these games.
Dowd on his power side, opposed by Alex Wenberg. Off the face-off, moved along by Giordano. 20 seconds on the man-power advantage. 6-on-4 for now. Ovechkin. Now Kuznetsov, Carlson, Evgeny Kuznetsov. They play catch. Carlson wide off the boards. Ovechkin off the paddle of Grubauer, who's almost caught in no man's land. 5 seconds on the power play. 90 seconds left. Carlson shot stopped by Grubauer. Now Ovechkin gets to it. Kuznetsov has it. Full strength, at least in terms of that. Grubauer makes the save on Kuznetsov. It's still fought for. Wenberg gets to it. He'll move it out. He'll send it down past the yawning cage in a 6-on-5. 1:12 left. This is icing.
I don't even know how many saves Grubauer has made right now in this last 5 minutes of the game, but they all have been huge. He had 2 on Ovechkin. There's been scrambles in front of him. He's looked really strong, confident, and calm in the blue paint right now.
JT, 21 saves in this period for Philip Grubauer. There's the line. McMichael and Wenberg again. 6-on-5 for Washington. .72 seconds. Susi. Carlson with a shot stopped by Grubauer. Orlov hand down in front. Great opportunity for Sprong, and now it's settled down by John Carlson. 1 minute left. He gets it center point. Looks it over. Hammered. A shot goes wide by Orlov, and it careens all the way back. 50 seconds left. Seattle changes. The Capitals clear it in. Susi is back first. He'll rim it. Not out. Orlov has it. He'll move it. McMichael out in front. Good stick by Susi. Back it goes. Ovechkin shot off the mark. Off Gord. Out in front. The Kraken get to it. It's Tanev. Out to center. Empty net for Gord. Bullseye!
Yanni Gord with the empty net goal. That should seal the deal. You see this chance going in front. Susi makes, or Schwartz makes a good play diving back. Susi with a good stick in front, able to knock it up over by Tanev. Tanev sees Ovechkin on the back check, finds Gord right in the middle of the ice, and puts it right into the middle of the net.
Off the draw, Van Riemsdyk will take it back. 25 seconds left. Fed in. 18 seconds on the clock. We said tonight was about challenges. On the ice for the Kraken, losers of 6 straight. Off the ice, hockey fights cancer. It rolls in on Vanacek. He'll freeze with 5 seconds left. But the Kraken, to a man, have answered the challenge.
And that they have. Getting down 1-0 early in the game, Seattle could have easily packed in the bag, said, here we go again, another game, another loss into the streak, but they didn't. They didn't pack it up. They kept fighting. They got themselves back into the game. And now look at it, 5 seconds left, 5-2 game right now, and they're breaking the skid.
It'll be victory number 5, the first on this homestand, breaking the 6-game skid, 2 seconds left. That's Kraken hockey, baby. They will surround Philip Grubauer. Dave Hackstall and his team have snapped the skid. It's a 5-2 win over the Washington Capitals. Partner, your final comments.
It was a really good game for Seattle. They finally came into the third period with a lead. They were able to play with that lead, not sit back too much, make the right decisions. And again, they walk out of here with the lead and get to go into, like you said, the Ring of Fire with good, confident hockey that they played here tonight.
That's more like it. What a night for the Seattle Kraken and their fans. 5-2 the final over Washington. Ross, Allison, take it away.
Well, wash it away. The Kraken put a cap on their losing run in quite some style. And Allison, they do it by beating an elite NHL team.
Win from your team, this is exactly what you want to see. As JT said, this team had a million reasons to fall away from who they are, how they want to play. They stuck with it and they earned it for all the right reasons. Again, just a total effort, start to finish from the Kraken tonight.
So many of those things they wanted to get right tonight and put right tonight, they did. They got their forecheck right, they got their responses right, they got so many elements that they needed to, including a banner night for Philip Grubauer. We'll get into all of that in our Kraken post-game show very, very shortly on Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Seattle Kraken with their 5th win of their inaugural NHL season. 5-2 over the Capitals. We'll break it all down next. Sucker for a salmon toss, you know. 37 saves and a sublime performance by Philip Grubauer in net tonight for the Kraken. There you go, youngster. He hasn't got a clue what that is, has he? But he's going to take that home, and his mum and dad are probably going to say, look, you've got a lovely little memento there. What a wonderful night for that young lad and for the Seattle Kraken, who got the job done 5-2. Alison Lucan and Ross Fletcher with you in what was really a second period goal burst for Seattle, but they had to work for it after going behind again early. You wondered whether Seattle would claw back, and they did.
You know, it wasn't surprising because, again, that first period was strong by Seattle. They stuck with how they needed to play. They didn't look like they were on their heels. They didn't look concerned by going down first. So I think the second period has always been strong for this Kraken team. They just capitalized this time.
They really did. Capitalize. I thought it was me that did the bad gags around here. No. I like that you're imbibing it as well. Let's have a look at that Kraken scoring summary, shall we? We mentioned that early goal for the Washington Capitals, 3:34 in the first. Turnover here from Jeremy Lauzon. Tom Wilson gets the feed from Evgeny Kuznetsov.
Just a miscue here. We've heard about this team not wanting to make mistakes. One happens here. Washington capitalizes with that feed from below the net. Extra hard for Grubauer to defend.
15:58 in the first. Seattle back on level terms on the power play. 4th time in 4 games they scored on the man advantage. Jared McCann finishing off.
A gritty goal here. This is how Seattle has wanted to find scoring chances. Puck gets net front. There's kind of a little bit of chaos. Jared McCann sends it in. It might have bounced around, but goes in.
If there's one thing Seattle have been good at this season, it is the second period performances, and this is where they really broke out. 2-1 up. Jaden Schwartz scoring on the 6-on-5.
Delayed penalty here, as you said, Ross. And again, another puck sent into traffic by Blackwell. Schwartz is right there on the doorstop, able to finish.
And 43 seconds later, Seattle with another of those response goals, and Adam Larson with his first goal for the Kraken from Yanni Gordsby.
It has to feel good for this Kraken squad to get a rush chance of their own and then also to finish making Adam Larson's first. Love Lovely play by Gord to set up the score.
And then another first for the Kraken. Kalle Järnkrok's first goal, having just recorded his first point.
The patience here is just so impressive to get right into the position, pull the defender away, and get a clear shooting lane in for the score.
We wondered whether Seattle would be able to get that muster to hold on going into the third. 4-1 up. Washington started to push, and push they did. 3:09 in the third. Alex Ovechkin with the open ice shot.
His 15th score of the night. We've talked about how dangerous Ovechkin is, not from his office this time, but again, when he goes in as uncontested as he was there, you're probably going to see him get another one.
7:45 on the goals for him now, chasing down Wayne Gretzky's all-time mark. And then finally the capper for Seattle, the empty netter, Yanni Gourde.
You know, again, 2-goal leads seem like they're safe, but this really, I think, gave the team some breathing room, not just because of time, but of the goal margin and an empty netter. There's been a lot of talk about empty nets around here tonight for all the right reasons.
After a huge penalty kill as well in that final 3.5 minutes. Let's have a look at our final stats on the power plays. Of course, Seattle, as we mentioned, they're 1 for 1. They are now 5 for 10 in their current run. And the hits, not necessarily a high number of hits, but I felt like the momentum that some of the hits gave Seattle was quite significant, particularly in that second period.
What's important here about the hits is a lot of times we have to be careful with hits because it means you don't have the puck. You are hitting your opponent to try to get to the puck. And the Kraken controlled possession in this game. So to your point, Ross, these were smart hits. These were hits to push opponents away, gain possession of that puck, or get a little energy going, get that puck back, drive your own offensive effort.
Plenty of energy tonight. The crowd were absolutely magnificent as well late on. We said that in the last game when hope was lost against Colorado. They really kept the Kraken going, and tonight they pushed them over the finishing line. Another guy that had a significant hand in getting the Kraken there was Philipp Grubauer. 37 saves this evening, amongst other notable statistics. The save percentage we don't always go too much off. There are deeper layers of meaning we can pull elsewhere, but 949, you're not going to turn that one away. This maybe was the performance we were waiting for from him.
I agree. This is exactly what you want to see from a goaltender. Key saves against some of the most dangerous chances, rush chances against late in the game in particular. Alex Ovechkin firing the puck at you. These are the shots you want your final line of defense to turn away. Grubauer looked locked in right from the get-go. He looked confident. He looked calm. He had a couple flurries of stops there that, again, really frees up the skaters in front of him to play the way they want to and need to play to drive for the win in terms of their responsibilities. And then in that third period, the player of the period for me there, just holding his team in it, chaos in front of him, screens, bodies flying everywhere, pucks bouncing everywhere. He turns away this kind of volume from Washington.
Let's have a look at the shot chart for the Washington Capitals. According to Natural Stat Trick, they were on for 3 expected goals and got 2.
Impressive effort. Again, this is what you want from a top goaltender in this league. This is why Philipp Grubauer was a Vezina finalist last year. And again, that final period, the bulk of this came in those final 20 minutes. So again, a statement final frame from him.
This, of course, the 5th of 6 in the homestand, which gives Seattle a little bit of confidence now going into that Carolina Hurricanes game, which is just around the corner on Wednesday, to round off the homestand before they go on the road.
The Kraken tonight, let us know and use that hashtag #WhereIRoot. Matthew, you made me laugh out loud with this one. Some pregame holiday decorating apparently himself. I mean, if you don't have a tree, you just wrap the lights around yourself, I guess. And we've got this one from Janet, one of the biggest Kraken fans, and Janet was dancing in her new gear. Pretty good dancer right there, Janet. And then finally we have this one. Tyler's crew is camping, but making sure they rep the Seattle Kraken while they do, and apparently staying warm at the same time in those hats. Keep those photos coming and use that hashtag #WhereIRoot, and we will try to get your photos on the broadcast. Well, folks, the skid is over. The Kraken with a team effort against one of the best teams in the league. They send them home at the end of their road trip with a loss in the first ever meeting between the Capitals and the Kraken. We're back after this.
Well, for every goal scored by the Kraken this season, WSECU will donate $250 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Washington State. So far this season, the Kraken have scored 52 times, so that means more than $13,000 in donations. The 10th of those goals this evening against the Washington Capitals side, who had just come in with back-to-back shutouts. Not bad by the Kraken at all. Ross Fletcher and Alison Lucan with you. Let's head down to Piper Shaw now, because the man who scored his 400th point in the NHL tonight, including a 4-point night this evening, Jaden Schwartz, has a lot to celebrate.
Thank you, and congratulations to this guy, Jaden Schwartz, on your 4th 4-point career game, on the win, and on your 400th career point. We talked before the game about the need to have a strong start. How did the start to this game give you guys the chance to finish it?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of got a weird goal at the start. We did a good job of rallying and not letting it bother us, and we grouped. The next line that went out had a good shift, got us some momentum, got us some confidence, and then I thought for most of the game we played really solid as a team, and you could tell guys were battling for each other and doing all the little things, and it paid off. So there's no secret that when you're sacrificing for each other like that and really working for one another, it looks a lot different.
You said it looks a lot different. I mean, you guys really did look like a completely different team tonight, in my opinion, than what we saw on Friday. What do you think that difference was in terms of your preparation and your execution? Yeah, everything. We weren't very happy after last game. That was we had a meeting the next day and just talked through some things and realized how we need to play and how we have to come together, and that losing streak wasn't very fun, and it was some adversity we were facing, but today was a sign that a positive sign of how we need to play and how good we can be when we stick together and play for one another. Grubauer really brought it tonight. He had more than 20 saves in the third period alone. What can you say about his contribution to this win? He was big. Made some big saves at the end, timely saves. Guys were doing a good job of blocking shots in front of him and helping out, but he was a rock for us, and he kept us calm in the third. We didn't have our best period there, and he really settled things down for us. How much of a deep breath and a full exhale does this win feel like for you guys, especially considering that you won it against the Capitals? Yeah, it feels good. Obviously, we weren't happy with that stretch we were on, and it feels good for us. The fans enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. So we'll have fun tonight, and like I said, enjoy the feeling of winning, and hopefully remember what it feels like and how hard it was, and we'll take tomorrow off and then regroup and get ready to go again. All right, thank you so much, and congratulations on the win and the milestones. Thank you.
4 points tonight then for Jaden Schwartz. A big evening for him, and significantly too for Calle Jarnkrok. Came in without a point to this game this season. Now has 1-1.
Calle Jarnkrok hasn't played every single game this season. He had some catching up to do, of course. But this is a player that this organization was expecting a lot out of. It's great to see him get on the score sheet. He is an effective player in both areas of the ice. Now he's proving why he is important offensively.
And I mentioned in our intermission show how he was the joint leading scorer with Nashville last season in that truncated campaign. 13 goals for him, so he is capable of knocking in more too. And the Kraken knocked in more. They knocked in 3 in that second period, which really lit the fire under their performance tonight. Let's break that down with the EQC tracer here, because it was one of the most significant periods, I think, of the Kraken season so far.
That's a fun problem to debate, isn't it, Ross?
I think so. And really, it all starts with Colin Blackwell here and the incisive passing to slice across the Caps defense.
Again, getting the puck into where there's no control. The defense has no control over where their opponents are, where the puck is coming from. You get it in there, bodies are bouncing, the puck is bouncing. Jaden Schwartz is able to finish easily.
And then Adam Larsson, not known for goal-scoring prowess, a shutdown defenseman, but joining in beautifully for the 2-on-1.
Who says defensemen can't have an offensive upside, right? Again, this is a great rush chance. He finishes strong. I really like it.
And Calle Jarnkrok feeding off Jaden Schwartz's opportunism here.
We talked about this, that patience. He pulls away the designated defender by looking to shoot, but dragging the puck just an extra inch, taking that extra pause, gets a clear look into the net to finish.
That is not the mark of someone who hasn't scored a goal this season. Plenty of confidence from Calle Jarnkrok. He did say coming into this game, I'm just going to keep doing the right thing. It is coming for me. It's worked. It worked for Jordan Eberle earlier in the season, and now it worked for Jaden Schwartz as well.
It's a story of the game. And
yeah.
Ross, you said it. That might have been the most important little 43-second stretch that this team has seen this season. I think you might be right on this one.
A huge inflection point for sure. Well, Adam Larsson, as we just mentioned, netted his first goal in Kraken colours. Let's hear from him now.
Well, I think it was the team effort. We did a lot of things right that we haven't been doing. Gruby played on really net, and we scored on our chances. I thought we were pretty solid defensively too. PK was good. Yeah, we did a lot of good things today.
So we've asked so much about what these starts have been like. How would you describe what made tonight maybe feel different with that first period? I mean, yes, there's the goal, and you end it with a 1-1 tie, but what else would you say maybe made this feel like a quicker start compared to what you had?
I mean, we came out really good, I thought, and they happened to score the first one, but we didn't give up. We kept fighting, and we got one going into the break, and I thought from there we felt good coming in. We did a lot of good things in the first and kept it going in the second. So it was an overall really strong team effort. A lot of guys sacrificing themselves, and like I said before, Gruby had a hell of a game too.
Yeah, there's a moment in the first period where you guys were down one. Puck gets turned over the offensive blue line. McMichael goes in on a breakaway. Gruar makes a huge save. That felt like one of those in previous games, right, that somehow ends up in the back of your net. How do you recall that moment? How big does that feel on the bench?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, we have been scored on too much. In the past, it's hard to win in this league if you get scored on 4 or 5 times, and today I thought we focused on the defensive side of the puck, the forward, the D, the goalie, everybody was pulling in the right way. So it was good to see, and I think we still have a long way to go. Can still clean up a couple of things, but it's a step in the right direction.
When you talk about cleaning up those couple of things, is the third period one of them? I believe the Capitals finished with 22 shots, and you only give up 25 a game across 3 periods. Like, what was it about that third period? Was it them being more aggressive, or what would you say it was?
Well, I think every time we have been down in games, and we kind of make a push. If you're down, you're pushing for it, and even today, I thought we hold it forward pretty good, and I mean, they're going to make a push. We knew that, and I thought we handled it pretty well. Obviously, there was some bounces in front of the net and stuff, but overall, I thought it was pretty solid.
What do you think this does with?
Adam Larsson there talking to the assembled media. Back up here, Ross Fletcher, Alison Lucan with you. Quick reaction to Adam Larsson there. I think the last answer was probably the most telling about not pushing too hard, getting the balance right despite going a goal behind, which is something they had a little trouble with in the past few games, Seattle.
I agree. I thought his comments on the start were really important to frame how this team needs to think about how they need to play, which is a start is not necessarily the first goal. That's great. But they stuck to how they needed to play. They retained their composure, and that was a strong start for them. They went into the first intermission feeling good about how they were playing, feeling good about themselves as a team, and then they were able to pop open in the second.
They really, really did. It was exciting to watch this evening, and the Kraken now 5-12-1 going into the final game of their 6-game homestand with the Carolina Hurricanes, something we will promo for you and look ahead to in a few minutes' time. Now, Kraken Nation, come visit us in Northgate at Kraken Community Iceplex, our official team practice facility for skating, hockey lessons, events, and more. Learn more as well at krakencommunityiceplex.com. It's a great place. My kids go skating there, learning to skate. They have a wonderful old time, as did the fans tonight inside, enjoying some of the big hits from the Kraken players as they rolled over the Washington Capitals 5-2. More reaction to come.
about that, John. This was the Capitals' only visit to Climate Pledge Arena this season, and they leave with a 5-2 loss. Kraken picking up their first win on this homestand. Where were you cheering on the Kraken? Maybe you were here at Climate Pledge Arena. Hopefully you used the hashtag #WhereIRoot and let us know. The Kims, they were here to release the Kraken at a fantastic evening here at Climate Pledge Arena. And then we've got this one, Oma and Opa to their first Kraken game. Well, congratulations on your first game. And finally, the best name ever for a fan club. It is the return of the Rainbow Unicorn Kraken fan club. A bit of a mouthful, but fun one nonetheless. Thank you so much for sending those photos in. A reminder, when you do send in the photo with that hashtag #WhereIRoot, it does give us permission to use your photo on the air. Hi, everybody. Angie Mentink here at the Ford Sports Desk. And we just heard Jaden Schwartz say just a little bit ago that Philip Grubauer was a real calming force there in the third period. At the end of the game, he had 37 stopped shots, but he still has enough in the tank to speak with the media afterwards.
Yeah, I think after the first one, and then you got to make the next one and the next one and the next one, right? So it's all about plays at the right time, at the right moment. It doesn't matter if it's a save, a hit, blocking shots. I think that was huge today. I think that's one of the first games we actually got in shooting lane, we blocked some shots, and those are key moments of the game. And then obviously scoring goals at the right time, right? We didn't have the luck the last couple of games where we had a breakaway, we hit the post to tie up the game, to make it 2-1. So, yeah, different key moments throughout the game for sure.
How huge does that feel for you personally tonight to have a game like that?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, it's not only for me; it's for the whole group, right? We build on that. That's the standard we set, and we got to come out and do the same thing against a really, really good hockey team here coming up against Carolina. Everybody is doing the right things. It doesn't matter if it's good reads, stick, blocks, whatever, PK, power play, and we build on that.
I'm sure the guys, sorry.
Philip, you've talked a lot about being quiet in goal. There's a lot of chaos in the goal in front of you in the third period. How'd you stay quiet?
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to make a push and throw everything at the net, right? Get some bodies in front, so either for sticks, rebounds, yeah. And we did a phenomenal job today of boxing guys out and getting underneath guys and not letting them have too many chances.
What was the key to holding Ovechkin's only a goal and Oshie and the other Washington players? You guys did a great job today.
Yeah, I think it's everybody on the ice, the whole line. You got to be aware of who is on the ice. I know they're missing a couple key guys. Backy, Osh wasn't in the lineup, Lars. So I think they're a different team without them, but doesn't mean because of those guys are out, Ovi, Kuzi, and Willie, they're still a dangerous team and they make it happen for them. Doesn't matter how big of a chance you give them, they always find a way, and that's how I won the Stanley Cup too. So you got to be aware, shut them down, and don't give them too much time.
I'm sure that the guys feed off of you making saves behind them, but how much do you feed off of them? You know, selling out blocking shots. There are a lot of huge block shots there, especially in the third period.
Yeah, sometimes I can't even see the puck, so they're bailing me out a lot by blocking your shot or getting the stick in underneath a guy so you can't shoot it. So obviously you want to be a wall back there and have everything under control and be as emotionless as I can and make the right stop at the right time.
And pointing to that, the right time, you look at the breakdown of his saves, 10 in the first period, 5 in the second, and then 22 in the third period, a season high 37. As we get you back to Ross and Allison, I don't know, I've been doing a few years, right? I don't care how many times you ask an athlete, they will never say against their former team that they're just a bit more focused or they want to do well, but you know it's the truth. You know it's the truth.
Yeah, and Philip Grubauer really brought out his best against the Caps. He has that Stanley Cup in the locker, so it's not like he had a point to prove necessarily against the Caps this evening, but I think he felt he had a broader point to make given the way the Kraken had started. And look, Seattle had said, and the rest of the squad had said, this is a team ethic when it comes to not giving up goals. It's not a goaltending issue, but that will have done Philip Grubauer's confidence, Allison, the world of good.
The defense is made up of defenders on skates, but also the goaltender. So this was a whole piece part effort. This was a whole piece part problem when the team couldn't make the stops that they wanted to. This game is a huge boost for pretty much every single player on that roster, you have to think. And for him to get the win against his other team, I'm with Angie. It matters.
It does. Okay, it does. It does. Time for your local Ford dealer key to the game. You said before this one, one step at a time for Seattle. I felt like they took more than one tonight, though, because they ticked off a couple of things.
They took a whole leap. Maybe they want that cake. Maybe Angie and I need to get together and take them some dessert. I don't know.
Take the whole cake all at once.
But it was a huge series of steps. But I think what was important is that we saw it happen sequentially. A little thing worked, then another thing worked. We talked about the power play being something that worked. And then even when this team was down, guess what brought them back even? The power play. So they were able to push after getting the goal against, and then able to see that power play continue to work. Little win on top of little win feeds to more confidence to get more little wins. This was an all-out effort, a series of wins, step at a time.
4 straight games with a power play goal and plenty of opportunities pock-marking that shot chart for Seattle. They were relentless, particularly trying to grab hold of rebounds too this evening.
Always in the right place at the right time, which is a huge part of getting multiple chances, which is exactly what any team wants when they're trying to get a goal. And while not maybe ideal by the numbers, that third period is okay. We see that across the league, is that if you go into the third with a lead, a team's going to sit back and protect that lead, maybe not be as aggressive. Philip Grubauer, again, as we've said, the difference maker there.
Well, I wonder what the coach makes of it all. A good night for Dave Haxtell and his team. Let's hear now from Dave Haxtell at the podium.
We really felt like, that's what we needed to get out of, this streak. It's been tough. It's not a lot of fun. Sorry, 2 nights ago, that hockey game, that stings. That stings, and that stays with you. The atmosphere in our building also stays with you. So there's probably a little bit of that, mindset of how much sport we had 2 nights ago on a real crappy night, and then to be able to come out tonight and do what we could to try to reward the people up there, and most importantly, really take pride in our standard tonight, and that's really what happened.
Bill just kind of talked about he's been in places where they've thrown beer cans for losing. So, what makes that so adamant for all of you where you say, yeah, you want to win for the organization, but, it's important for you to do this for the fans, because you don't always hear teams and coaches and players talk about that.
Well, every place is not like it is here, and we're very early on. Tonight is one win, right? So we're not going to get ahead of ourselves here. We had a good opponent that came in on back-to-back. And, I believe we did a good job in the first and second period of working and really trying to grind our opponent down. Now, as you build the lead, there's going to be a push in the third period, and how you handle that is really important, especially when you're coming out of a stretch where we haven't won in a little while. How you handle that stretch says an awful lot about you. And I thought we handled the push. We handled it well. And my feeling is that this should really give us give us a burst and a real push as we now go into a real tough stretch. You take a look at our schedule coming up. Carolina coming in, that's a hell of a challenge. Just like the challenges we've had here the last couple nights.
Dave, there was like a 15 or 20-minute period where Schwartz seemed to be in on everything. It was really annoying, even on defense. He tipped the puck ahead for a goal. Is he always like that? What was different about tonight with the 4 points?
No, he is. Schwartzy, we made a little adjustment, in our line combinations, and he was out there with Gordy and Yarny tonight. And one of the things, that we love his competitiveness, but one of the bigger things with that switch is
You know, I knew he's going to be playing some heavy minutes against a good line. But, you know, Schwartz is really good down below the circles in the offensive zone. And you saw him, he was in his office tonight. You know, and he produced, right? He produced. You know, had a really good night offensively, but you know, just the combination of those three guys, not just having to defend against a really good line. If you defend against that line all night long, it's going to look like, you know, parts of the third period, right? You know, the Gord line was able to, they were able to play in the offensive zone quite a bit tonight in the first, especially in the first couple of periods, and Schwartz was a huge part of that.
So on those lineup changes,
Dave Hack's still there responding to the Kraken's 5-2 win over Washington Capitals. Ross Fletcher, Alison Lucan back with you. He never gets too high. He never gets too low. That's the mantra of a lot of coaches. I realised what he said there as well. Look, this is only one win. And you have to put this in perspective for the Kraken. They're 5-12-1. It won't mean a lot if they don't build on what they achieved tonight.
It won't mean a lot, but I think what comes away from this for me, even more so than the win and the 2 standing points, Dave Hackstall said we had pride in our standard. And we heard this from Jaden Schwartz, too, is that they played for each other. And again, going through a stretch like the Kraken went through, this can be divisive. This can feel bad. It's not great. It's not fun. This group showed today that they are bought in. And that was what that step-by-step was all about. So that tells you a lot more than even that score on the scoreboard tells you. That we play the games for a reason. We'll see how they turn out, but that tells me a lot about this group right now.
Yeah, if sport was predictable, we probably wouldn't watch a lot.
It'd be no fun.
It wouldn't be fun. It was fun tonight. The crowd had a lot of fun. They were huge, I thought, in pulling Seattle along to that 5th win of the season, as we mentioned, against the team that came in with back-to-back shutouts too. Time for our McDelivery Supermo moments. Jared McCann on that power play really got Seattle rocking this evening. 4-point night for Jaden Schwartz, who is now over 400 points in his career. First goal in Kraken colours for Adam Larsson. And Colin Blackwell put himself about a couple of significant hits to try and change that momentum, tilt it in the Kraken's favour. And one of our favourite things, of course, a win equals a salmon toss. And a little memento for that young lad, who I'm sure will be sleeping tight to that tonight.